Hello, greetings. How are you, world? Welcome back to Mirror. I am your dungeon master, Esper, and we've got our crew of these four fine fellows, fantastic, even phenomenal, you might say. And looking forward to this episode. A couple different things could happen, so I'm not sure what these guys are going to ultimately choose to do. So I'm prepared for the unexpected as much as I can. Why don't you guys run through the characters as usual?
Hi, I'm Warsor and I play Walykos, the level 5 half-elf ranger.
I'm Vince. I'm playing the Wild Magic level 5 Sorcerer Vapor.
I'm Nick. I play the level 5 swashbuckling rogue Adriel.
And I'm Adam, and I'm an armor artificer named Aygir, who, like the rest, is all level 5.
That's like the first time we actually all got that like perfect. Oh my goodness.
That's true. No one inverted their real name and their character's name. Yeah. All right. It was a pretty tense session last time, particularly with everything going on, everything to do with Adriel and vapors having destroyed the blade of the Night Stalker that seems to have been forged by or somehow given to him by Baal Vonder, a giant lord who apparently has been lurking in his own clandestine lair since the siege of Eoberg over 100 years ago. There's still talks of a plot that the giants want to retake this land, this island nation. Adriel got his hands on the blade for just a little bit, and his want of the blade was intense. It still is intense, and you were furious with Vapor for destroying it. You seem to have come to some sort of agreement or understanding or truce, at least for the time being. And I think Vapor has said he's going to do what he can to try to get you a different magic
blade,
weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all happening on the eve of the summons to the royal court of Barnacle, the royal court of House Drakestone. So that is where we begin our scene here. You all had rested at Adriel's family tower. Yep, in the Storm Tower district, and you are met the following morning, the day of the royal court. It's supposedly going to be a grand affair. You are met there at your home, Adriel. All of you are met by a seneschal, one Crane Wellings. Crane Wellings is wearing a rather fine, embellished velvet doublet and nice polished black boots, and even has a like a, what I call the ceremonial type rapier in a scabbard at his hip, and he has a large hat with a big plume in blue and crimson and purple streaking out of it, and he greets you all with a grand gesture. Good morning. Good morning. I am Seneschal Crane Wellings, and Master Adriel. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
As
and you'll have to forgive me. I'm not completely. I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name. He looks to Walykos.
It is Walykos.
Walykos. I want to get this right for when you are announced, Walykos, and you are you're a guardsman of his house?
Yes, I suppose
Very
you
well.
could call me a retainer.
Yes, very well. And then we have the two non-local companions. Help me here with the pronunciation. You are Aygir?
Aygir.
Aygir.
It is more common name where I'm from.
Yes, and your surname?
I am son of Temu, gor-Temu.
Okay, Aygir gor-Temu. And Vapor, I think I won't have any trouble with.
Correct.
It's actually vapor.
Oh, have I pronounced this
it is
hideously
vapor.
It
It
is
is vapor.
Which is Vapor, sorcerer from the Steplands.
Correct.
I have heard of the magics that you have performed, and I must say, I am personally quite interested in any sort of small demonstration you might be able to do for me. Is there something that I might see? Something I could tell? I promised my children that I would ask you to do some sort of magician's maneuver. Yes.
Vapor just picks up a small stone and casts light on it.
That's all you give him.
No, you get.
I see.
Well, no, because anything else, there's a chance for wild magic surge.
Oh, that's true because of you have to do cantrips.
He suddenly gets fireballed.
You won't find yourself wanting of lanterns then. So he seems sort of disappointed with the light spell, but that's okay.
It was no showmanship at all. You just pick up a rock, like, here you go.
Have you
You
all
Again, this is Vapor. He doesn't.
have you all donned your finest attire?
Walykos would definitely try to look good. He wants to make Adriel look good in front of the nobles.
Yeah, Adriel, like, I think that obviously we didn't roleplay it, but like he probably would have been like a bit annoyed at like having to dress formally. Like I imagine like Walykos was probably convinced him to like to dress properly.
I'm like, come on, stand up straight. We got to get you into this,
All right,
suck in the
fine,
gut.
fine, but I'm keeping my daggers with me.
Yes,
Putting on the monkey suit.
Yeah, so like I'm in very formal attire, but like I have like a short sword on my belt and like dagger. Like I still have some of my weapons just in
Yeah,
case.
they'll let you know if you can actually keep those.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes, that's fine. Do bring your battle regalia. I think it only adds to the effect of the ceremony. There's quite a crowd gathering, and they'll be wanting to see the champions here.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth noting that Aygir's voice probably sounded a little distorted because he was speaking through the little mouth hole in his closed visor at the moment.
I will have the petrified mushroom staff. Very familiar looking. Someone might have had something similar at some point in the past. And
Yes.
I will.
Who do you speak of?
I don't know. I can't recall.
You all look quite presentable. I thank you for that. It goes without saying that you need to be presenting yourself in the most respectable manner when you are inside of the royal court, and particularly when speaking to Duke Ormond. You may refer to him as my lord or simply Duke. Either title, either reference will be sufficient for due honor.
Is it true that your grace is also an acceptable term for a duke? I'm not 100%.
Oh no, that would be reserved for the king in Terra Morgana.
There's all these honorifics that I'm not familiar with. Duke, all right.
No, if you find yourself in a moment of uncertainty, Duke works fine and well. It is a title that carries prestige in and of itself. There is one small detail that I should mention to you. Duke Ormond is very touchy about people standing on the green tiles.
Oh, really?
Do what you can to avoid standing upon the green tiles when you're in the courtroom.
Why is that?
Well, we don't question the Duke on that matter. If you all would follow me, I will be escorting you personally to Longkeep.
On a scale of like using the wrong fork at dinner to kissing the Duke's wife in front of him, what sort of thing is that standing on the green scale tiles?
Well, I think you'll get along splendidly with the Duke. Well, I would say it is somewhere less egregious than taking liberties with the Duchess, and worse than, say, yelling at one of the courtiers.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Yes, you'll find that the Duke does have a number of peculiarities about him. He's very, very touchy about certain details. He likes things to be
Eccentricity.
in a certain order. We would do well not to use that word. Particular. He is particular. Yes. Well, if you all are prepared, I say we make our way.
Of course, after you. I'll lean into Adriel and I'll be like, yeah, I'm just calling it what it is. These old elves, they get really weird in their old age. You know, they're rich, they're powerful.
Agreed.
But I'm whispering that to Adriel, by the way.
Yeah.
I
You
just
all
wanted to make
leave.
clear.
That's fine. You all leave Adriel's home. The four of you, as well as other members of your household. Adriel, your mother is still away in Plethoris. She's been gone for a while. Her excuse was she's going to take a holiday due to all the danger with the Night Stalker. So she's still gone. But your father will be coming. So you will have Adelmond. Wait a minute. No, scratch that. You'll have... I have it right here. I have everything completely organized.
Sure. You
Oh my. Well, your father is with you as well, as is a number of other members of House Mantevale. Duncan Mantevale, Lord of the Storm Tower. His oldest daughter, Lady Locke. Her son will be there, but he's actually already there. He's not with you at the entrance procession, as Varric is a knight, so he's already there and suited up.
That's the one I met, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is true. Also going with you is Crispin Hallows, House Wizard of Mantevale. So you all leave your district and you're following Seneschal Wellings. You make your way to Strong Castle, the massive district that has been a repurposing of the old giant castle. And you go up one flight of stairs into a next. As you are going throughout your procession, there are city guards protecting your small group. And there are people cheering or just watching you all as you make this procession. The crowd gets thicker the farther that you go, and you eventually get up to the uppermost level, the upper tier of Strong Castle, where there is a massive double door. These would have been giant-sized doors, so they're like 30 feet high doors, and they take like multiple strong men with these big chains to open them up. They've already got them opened. There's a massive crowd gather, everyone from lowborns through the working classes to even some minor nobles who dwell here. They cheer, they clap for you, they throw confetti, they throw flower petals. Ladies blow kisses at you all, and you pass through this door, and there's this long bridge, a long, wide stone bridge that, it's this quite far drop off past either ledge. And there's still people, lining the sides of the bridge cheering. And you walk the span of this massive bridge to Longkeep, which is like the uppermost keep where House Drakestone proper dwells, and where the Duke rules and administers the law and justice. Throughout your walk across the span of the bridge, you see flying in the air 2 knights on kite sails. So you see these drake-like creatures that have smaller foreclaws and then these long hind legs with these streaming wing membranes that go stretching from their big hind legs all the way down these long tails that they have, and they fly through the air with these waving movements, and they even have streamers tied to the tips of their tails, and there's this kind of glorious aerial display to really heighten the effect of the moment. And you see the doors are also held open there at Longkeep, and trumpeters are blowing their trumpets, and it's really a grand entrance. And you enter the massive court of Longkeep. Again, this original was a giant structure, so it really makes you feel quite small when you walk into this space. The ceiling is like vaulted up, maybe some 100 feet or more. The pillars are like 10 feet in diameter, propping up these vaulted ceilings, and the floor. The floor has these tiles arranged in beautiful patterns of green, red, and purple, with this creamy white center aisle leading up to a dais that has the thrones of the Duke and Duchess. This is Duke Ormond. He is wearing a jewel-studded diadem and an extremely long cape that stretches all the way down the back of his high throne and even trails out a few yards behind him. He has this long gray hair, and it's done up in these 2 like bulbous sweeps parted in the middle, and his face is quite powdered. And Duchess Avon wears a jeweled circlet and a little dainty red cape. She has long gray hair that's done in these extravagant braided top bun, heavily powdered face as well. There are a number of other people here. There are lords and ladies of House Drakestone. You see a bunch of knights. There's old Penn Drakestone, Rigby, and Keon Brackenbluff. There's Varric Mantevale of your house, Adriel. There's Raynar Havenward. And there's a few others present as well. There's like 9 of these knights, these finest knights, all here present. There's House Brackenbluff, there's House Havenward, there's House Mantevale. There's some other nobles that are sworn to Drakestone, such as Sorcerer Flay, and just scores upon scores of guards, courtiers, and other nobles, great and small. There also are some representatives of the Merocrats here. Yes, indeed. There is Ballad Averill, who is the Magister of Havensport. There is Farley Clane, who is a knight. He's one of the Boundless Brothers, who's kind of a dashing and beloved duo of knights from the Merocrats. And then his younger brother, Brewster Clane, is there as well. And I should not forget, there are jesters. There are 2 jesters, actually. You were expecting 1, but there's actually 2 jesters. There's the traditional jester, or I should say the long-held jester of Duke Ormond, whose name is Bravi, who is a type of ape. It's called a goblin ape. They're these kind of short, 4 feet tall apes with pot bellies. He's the long-standing jester of Duke Ormond, and he wears his classic multi-tasseled, bell-strung hat and motley garb. But there's a new court jester as well. There's a second one, who you soon learn his name is Esmeraldo, and he is dressed in all green, kind of this like over large green robe. He has this big, floppy, pointy green wizard hat with stars on it. And he stands on and walks on only green tiles. And whenever he walks, he'll be very particular about this. And if he has to, he'll like jump and leap to get over to a next green tile. It's like he's afraid some kind of ill doom is going to befall him if he steps on anything other than green. So you all are welcomed, and Seneschal Crane Wellings says, "Hear ye, the champions of House Mantivale, Master Adriel Mantivale." And there's much applause and cheering. His guardsman and retainer, Walykos of House Mantivale. Artificer Aygir, gor-Temu of the Stepland, and the Sorcerer Vapor of the Stepland. And again, much cheers go about. And after the fanfare settles down, you all are brought directly to the base of the dais of Duke Ormond Drakestone. The four of you, along with Duncan Mantivale, Crispin Hollows, and Sorcerer Flay. So, Master of Rituals, your grandfather Adriel, your house wizard, and Sorcerer Flay, the captain of the city guard. The Duke holds a scepter in his hand with a dainty grasp, and he says, and by the way, he was badly poisoned, right? He was almost on his deathbed for a while. So you're seeing him like for the first time publicly, and like he's seems to be doing well-ish, right?
He'll be
people
fine.
were worried people were worried for a while that he might not pull through. It is a great pleasure and honor of mine to welcome you this day. The Night Stalker was a terrible affliction upon our great city, and many suffered and wept from the killings. You may turn and look here. And he gestures to the side where there's this separated benches of some different families and different people seated. Some of them you recognize and some of them you don't. These are the families of the slain. Today they are also considered guests in our court, and they have come to personally thank you for the great bravery and honor, the heroic act that you have performed. And the seneschal comes and kind of helps you all navigate the right way, and you have to like step off of this creamy tiled center aisle, and he
But not
very
on the green
tastefully,
tiles.
he like very tastefully like ushers you all so that you can just like clearly step and not go onto green tiles. And Esmeraldo, this like mock green wizard looking guy, he does this like little tumble, like a little cartwheel thing, and he like just only hits onto the green tiles. And he's singing some little ditty over there in the corner to himself. The Night Stalker's dead, the Night Stalker's dead. They cut off his head, The blood, it flowed so red, when they cut off old Night Stalker's head. And he, makes some little ditty about the Night Stalker being slain. And the families of the victims, they all, they shake your hands, they kiss your hands, they kiss your foreheads, they pat you. They show you all these signs of affection. Many of them cry, and they give you their heartfelt thanks. Do you all have any particular interactions with him, or do you just kind of politely accept their gratitudes?
Adriel is probably a bit like annoyed actually. Like he doesn't really care about that kind of stuff. Like he's not like pushing them away, obviously. Like he's letting them do it because he kind of needs to, obviously. But like he like Walykos would probably notice that he's just like, okay, like yes, we killed
Emotions
him.
make you uncomfortable as they're trying to show this.
Basically, yeah. Like Adriel's just like, I don't care about this. Like I killed the Night
Oh
Stalker
yeah, you're
for my
kind of
own
looking
reasons.
aside
Like,
and you feel someone's hand like grip your hand and start shaking it, and you look and you see this man. You don't know who he is exactly, and his clothing is like the best he could come up with, but it's not really fine attire. He's like, I can't say how much I am grateful for what you have done. Thank you, thank you.
yes.
Walykos will try to insert himself, take the hand of the man, and like shake it so Adriel can fade back a little. Like, yes, of course, we're just serving the Duke and our city, making it safer for all of us. Adriel is.
And then they shake Aygir's hand, and he shakes Vapor's hand as well. You represent the finest of the city. This where would we be without brave champions such as yourselves? Thank you for your service. Thank you. And he shakes Crispin Hollows and Duncan's and Sorcerer.
Adriel, like not outwardly, but like internally, is just rolling his eyes, like just get on with it. Like,
So
Right.
while this goes on, not that it has any particular bearing on anything, but Aygir does look over at the families just to see if what's her name, Alice, Elwyn Drakestone's mother, if she's there.
I can tell you.
wait, who were you looking for, Aygir? Sorry.
Elwyn's mother, because it was his brother who was one of the first.
Oh, Elwyn. Oh,
victims
yeah,
of the Night Stalker,
my
right?
character. Yeah, I was just like, who's Elwyn? I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is definitely there. She would be one of the, I would imagine, like most grateful and thankful people, as her son, let's see, Rourke, who was a knight, was one of the victims of the Night Stalker. He was killed in his own bedroom, nonetheless. So, demelza Drakestone. Yeah. She is she's the daughter of the knight Pin Drakestone. So Pin Drakestone is like the oldest knight, like the living legend, like the knight that everyone looks up to is like Pin Drakestone. He's this amazing knight. So this is his daughter, is demelza. She was the mother of Elwyn and Rourke, who both died.
Marwyn as well.
Marwyn, yes.
Yep. Human.
Let's see. Freaking Ginteljar. That's your father's name. Adelmond is Kana Spindle's mayordomo. Okay.
Yeah.
Very well. So that all the so thanks, that part gets wrapped up, and you all are ushered back to the base of the dais overlooking the throne of Duke and Duchess. Duchess Avon Drakestone says, "It is my particular honor to bestow upon you all, you 7, these medals of honor. Wear them with pride. Keep them as great treasures. Treasures more than gold and fine cloth, but treasures of honor, of deeds that are unfathomed by so many, yet deeds that we rely upon in our darkest of hours." And she, gracefully descends the steps, and a different seneschal comes with this big, velvet-lined case, and she puts onto your heads one at a time these wondrous golden medals that have like a emblazoned stamp of House Drakestone and some other insignia on it that speak to the great honor and favor that you are now given. in the eyes of House Drakestone, and indeed the eyes of the city of Barnacle. If you have any words that you would like to give to those gathered here, please, the floor is yours to speak. And she goes back to her throne. Duncan Mantevale turns to kind of look over all of the court. All of my fellows of the city, Duke, Duchess, and all of this honored court. Indeed, we seem to have turned a new leaf out of the shadows and into the light. This process was more than any tactic of investigation, even more than any prowess in battle or gift in arcane art. This was, at its foundation, an internal victory, as it was not until I was humbled and decided to cast down the shadows of my own heart and embrace the divine light and grace of Utsira, blessed white raven. Only then was the path illuminated, and we were able to apprehend and dispatch of this fell killer. If there is one thing that I would wish that you all take from this day, it is that while the blade is mighty, purity of heart is mightier. We will never defeat the demons outside until we defeat them inside of our own hearts. This is well said, well said. There's like, oh yeah, a lot of people like clap at that, and the Duke, he gingerly caresses the little gem orb at the top of his scepter. Wise words, master of rituals, my wise words indeed. What about the rest of you?
I look to Adriel to see if he wants to make a speech. I do have something to say, but I don't want to override him.
No, Adriel kind of gesture to Walykos. Like Adriel doesn't really want to say much here. Like,
okay,
I want
to meet eyes with the others to see if they have things to say as well. Just like a simple shake of the head and a nod.
Yeah,
Vapor shakes his head. He's got. The only reason he's here is because he is pretty much dragged along.
Actually, you know what? Actually, I guess Adriel might say like something along the lines of, let me think.
Think for a moment while Aygir says
you can think because Crispin Hallows speaks up.
Okay,
and he says,
I just wanted to get a confirmation who's going to speak, so we have an order to it. Aygir, are you speaking?
If he says anything, it will probably be a manifestation of his bad charisma score, and he'll probably put his foot in his mouth a little bit.
That's
so
fine.
He'll speak if he's addressed to speak.
Aygir starts talking, and Adriel, Walykos, and Vapor are just like shut up, Aygir, shut up.
Sorry, Esper. I just wanted to get that.
Crispin Hallows, House Wizard of Mantevale, says, "Well, I'm not one for grand speeches." His face starts to flush with embarrassment. I've long studied the arcane arts, and it's a privilege, really, that I was able to put it to such good use. And thanks as well to Vapor and Aygir, who has a wizardry of his own. Really, it was our combined efforts that allowed us to locate the Night Stalker. So really credits to everyone. Do credits. But it is I who am honored this day. Thank you. and like he even starts to like sweat a little bit. He clearly is not one for the pressure of public speaking.
Yep. I guess
Sources Flay says his bit, and he says, Duke and Duchess, this is the finest moment in my career as guard captain. I will never forget this day. I will wear this medal of honor with pride, and I will do my utmost to uphold and be an embodiment of all of the ideals that it represents. Thank you. And he gives his a bow to the royalty.
Right. I guess Adriel will speak up now. By the way, our group's name is the Vanguard, right? We did.
Yes.
decide on that.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
The Vanguard. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Adriel will say, he'll say, well, I'm not much for speeches myself either, but we are happy. Myself and I believe my comrades are happy that we could help the city in this matter. The Night Stalker was not someone or something to just be allowed to roam around this city without justice. And we, the Vanguard, are happy to deal with it. Thank you for this honor, my lord. And then he'll like sort of give like a bow.
Yeah. The Duke gives his like nod of acceptance.
And then I step on a green tile.
Just jump up and down on it.
You stomp on a green tile and the entire scene pauses while the song Roundabout by Yes plays in the background.
Walykos will step forward once the others said their piece, and he'll just kind of announce, others have said it much more elegantly than I could. This was truly a credit to those here who stand before you. House Bantavale especially played a crucial role in not only baiting the Night Stalker into, revealing himself, but then tracking him back and putting an end to the terror that he had been inflicting on the city and all its people. I would caution that this is a time to celebrate, but there are many questions that must be answered going forward. And to that end, the Vanguard, which is, I'm proud to announce, the four of us have formed ourselves into a small group. We will be looking into these matters, and we will be bringing information before the Duke so that he may know what is going on under his purview of the city.
Under his powdered nose. No.
I didn't say that. I avoided that. I put in a polite way of so he knows what's going on in his city. Yeah. So that's Walykos. He cuts himself there so he doesn't.
Yes. You hear some people from the crowd. Vapor! Speak, Vapor! Come on, let's hear a word from Vapor! They are egging you on, Vapor.
Hey, Vapor, can you just do a lightning bolt to the sky or something?
The Duke even gestures over to you.
Just do this
a
sign
word!
with lightning
A
bolts
word!
coming out.
A word, sorcerer. Well, at least a word.
Or do both of them.
Please just don't blow us up. Please.
Vapor looks up at the Duke and with his one eye just looks at him and just shakes his head.
Vapor,
wait, you're denying the Duke? Oh, Vapor, no.
Just do this and shoot lightning towards the ceiling.
Yeah, actually.
Like your cantrip, whatever.
Yeah, when Vapor shakes his head, Adriel will kind of turn and sort of go wide-eyed, be like, and then whisper, say, Vapor, this is the Duke. You should not, you should listen to what he asks of you.
Just they'll stop asking. If you don't do this, they're gonna keep on at it, and it'll annoy the shit out of you even more. Just give them one little appeasement.
He mumbles, lightning strike, doing the finger guns up, and just fires the spell up into the air.
Wild magic. Wild magic.
It's a
Well, it's a
cantrip.
cantrip, so no wild magic.
Oh wait, that's a cantrip. Oh, that's right.
What-
That's
what-
right.
what do
I
you
forgot,
do?
Yeah.
He's doing that. Let me make sure I'm saying the right spell. The storm bolt up into his finger storm bolt up into the air.
I imagine like it like kind of
So
like
you
fizzles
give
out
a
as
you
it-
give a lightning display as your
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah, and just he
So
looks
there's
disgusted.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd, and the Duke.
I give you a pat on the back.
I suppose that will have to suffice. And Esmeralda, he's like jumping up and down as you do this magic, and he says, "The Night Stalker's murders! Tragic! Tragic! They found him out with magic! Magic! His parents claim ignorance of his habits! Habits! I give you my gift of rabbits! Rabbits!" And he takes off his hat and he pulls out just like this streamer that just like keeps going like a multicolored thing. And he's like, and he's like unspools this whole thing around himself until he's like up to his waist in this like multicolored ribbon, and then out at the end of it is just this stuffed rabbit. And he just like cowers in shame after that. Bravi, the goblin ape, like saunters over to him, takes out a mallet and just whacks him over the head. I don't know, he feigns that he just got killed. He falls onto the sprawls onto the ground. Many people find it humorous, especially the children in attendance. And they also are cheering for Aygir.
When he falls, does he land on a not green tile?
He probably like his hands like position them in like a twister style, you know.
Well, certainly he is at least still partially on green tile.
I mean, he's got all the scarf to land on too. So
Aygir! Let's hear it from Aygir!
Put on the
Word!
spot.
Speech, Aygir, speech!
Put on the spot and
Yes.
being unused to public
A
speaking.
word,
Aygir
Aygir, a
raises his
word.
visor and almost magnetically draws his two thunder weapons to his hands and bangs on his shield once. And again, unused to public speaking, says, "People of Barnacle, rejoice in this day. It is good." And then bangs on his shield again. And
good speech, Aygir. All
puts his
right,
weapons
moving
away
it
and
right
lowers his
along.
visor.
I believe there's more to this. Are we going to have an audience where we can talk with the Duke, or is this all just the ceremony?
People of Barnacle, rest assured that I will be holding council with the vanguard and the leaders of Montevale and the guard captain, Honorable Sorceress Flay. There are still questions that need to be answered. Many questions as to why this situation occurred in the first place and what motives were involved with it all. So I will be doing my due diligence to try to get to the bottom of this matter. And I will relay to you all what findings that we come upon. The last thing we want is such a tragedy to befall us again. Now, as for you newcomers, what call yourselves the Vanguard, you have until now no official titles in our city, and I would offer them to you. The two of you who are properly of Montevale Adriel and Walykos, if you would accept, I would see you knighted. And so the Duke has offered to each of you a knighthood.
I was not okay. Out of character, I was not expecting that. That's really okay.
I can see how this would be worth a knighthood. It's just
for
is
sure,
a little unexpected because just you don't expect to be that well rewarded.
We
Sometimes.
didn't know he knew who we were.
I even think that like Adriel probably like is a little taken aback, like, wait, what? You know, like he doesn't say that, but he's sort of like probably like looks to Walykos a little wide-eyed, like, oh my goodness, you know.
I just I rolled just to give myself a reaction of how flabbergasted Walykos is. I rolled a nat 20. So Walykos just takes it. And he just like places a hand on Adriel's shoulder and he's gonna bow as gracefully as he can and say, Duke Duke Orman, Drakestone, it would be our honor to serve you and the city as new knights of House Mantevale.
Yep. Yeah, Adriel will also give a bow and say, actually, he'll probably like do a bit of a performance of it a little bit. Like he might like actually go to a knee and sort of like bow his head and say, "Yeah."
I hit the floor right next to you. Like I try to do it, sooner than you if I can.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You probably get there a little faster than I, and then like I kind of like follow suit. And I'll bow my head and say, "My lord, this is a great honor. I must say did not expect it, but I am quite what's the word? Quite what's the word? Where like you're very thankful. What's the word for that?
Grateful.
Grateful. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. I'm quite grateful for the honor, and yes, I would very much love to serve as a knight of House Mantevale.
I whispered,
my blades are yours.
I whispered, Adriel, let's see what he has in store for Aygir and Vapor.
Yeah, and I'll sort of like give a nod to the side. Yeah.
There,
Aygir Vapor, you get gold.
There have been many unexpected turns of events this year in our city, and so I would say this is only fitting, given the heroic act and the great competence that you have both displayed in the arts of combat. And due to your lineages, I cannot offer you the rank of Castle Knight, but rather Knight Errant, though I find that is probably more suitable given your propensities as you have formed your own free company here.
Now, just to specifically be that guy, what are the differences, legally and officially speaking, between a knight of the Castle of Barnacle and a knight errant in the setting of MIRRORMOURN?
Would Aygir know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Castle Knight is a higher rank, and that's like, the Pen Drakestones and the Variks and the people that properly attend the castle, the court, the Duke, and such, the defenders of the city. And they're also going to be more localized in their stations. Knight Errant is more of the go out into the field.
Quests.
You don't have quite so many responsibilities, though you do have codes that you need to uphold. And it's the Castle Knights are still a higher rank than you, but you are still a knight. So you have rank over. You would have rank over regular city guards, over commoners. It's definitely a title of honor.
Now, is being a knight, is that the would we now technically be lords?
No.
Okay. I didn't
Knights
know
are different than lords.
And I'm just curious: is my cousin the one that I met at the Is he a knight, a castle knight, or is he like he is a castle knight? Okay, so he would be higher. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually somewhat irregular to do the knight errant thing, but you guys
It
have
fits.
mixed lineages. You're not like pure elven blood, and
Aygir is not-
he knows that
any
you're
kind of elf.
adventurers.
Actually, the fact that like he even gave like this title to Wally, like I like it kind of makes sense for Adriel because he's technically a Mantivale, but like Wally, like that's big because like Walykos is not technically
I'm just a
yeah,
retainer of the
yeah,
house.
so that's pretty huge.
It is pretty huge. Really, it's about as high as someone like Walykos could
dream.
realistically expect to attain.
And it would have been
Um,
like a lifelong working towards it. This, I just kind of lucked into it, if you will.
Yeah, some would call it luck. Some might call it fate. So it's
Some might call it being a paragon.
the Duke, and obviously the Duke is being advised by others. You know, he is aware that you all are adventurers. I don't know if he uses the word adventurer or not, but the knight errant fits that.
He's
that.
well informed in what he can expect. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're not gonna always be at the castle, so.
All right, so
Unless we're
you
gonna hire
all
characters.
you all remain at your two, oh my gosh,
At our knees.
on your knees. Thank you. You all remain on your knees, and you are approached by Penn Drakestone, who again is a very well-regarded knight of Barnacle.
He's the younger brother.
He's the younger brother of the Duke.
Yeah,
he's the younger brother of the Duke, so he's not quite so gray, but he's getting into that like sandy turning gray phase.
There's difference between them. Yeah,
he's definitely like past his prime. He's like in his early 60s.
Yeah.
But he is not one to be trifled with. And you saw it firsthand at that big public debate when that killer tried to assassinate the Duke and like threw the poison dart. Penn like drew his blade and nearly cut the guy in half in one stroke.
Yeah.
So he's
high level.
He's very high level. He is stronger and faster than you might expect. He's like surprisingly uncannily fast and strong. So he walks up to you. He's wearing like, full polished plate armor, regalia, cloak, has his own like medals of honor strung about his neck, a big plume in his helm, and he draws his like mirror gleaming sword, and first goes to Adriel. Adriel of House Mantivale, for deeds of great bravery and honor, for the good you have done for the city of Barnacle, the justice you have wrought, and your extraordinary competence in the art of battle, I hereby knight you. Arise, Sir Adriel.
I will rise and give another bow and say thank you.
Walykos, retainer of Mantivale, likewise, you have acted with courage above and beyond what most mortals will ever know. The hand that you have played in bringing justice to the city, in quelling the terror of the Night Stalker, is a deed whose value is difficult to measure. May this knighthood repay you in some fashion, and may you as well continue to uphold the justice of this city, the good order of all who dwell in it, and may your prowess in battle grow to even greater heights. Arise, Sir Walykos.
Walykos stands up as well, bowing slightly and saying, "Thank you, Sir Penn Drakestone."
Now, with every knight comes his sword. You may have your pick. And they bring out a weapons rack that has a number of blades. Some are longer and some are shorter. We could consider them somewhere from like the short sword to long sword to great sword range. Well-made, castle-forged blades, and you can take your pick.
Yeah. I'll look over them. Do any like appear like better than the other ones, or are they all roughly like the same quality?
Well, the quality is quite fine amongst all these blades. You look at them, and none of them seem to be of questionable quality. None of them seem to have defects. They strike you more as just a matter of preference of weight, length, combat, fighting style, etc.
That's fair.
They come with scabbards. They're like very embellished scabbards, like encrusted with, inlays and filigrees and jewels and such.
Mm-hmm. I will. So Adriel, I guess, will take what is the equivalent of like a short sword.
Yep.
He'll get one that looks very, fine and ornate to his liking. He'll take it and like, I assume this is probably okay. If it's not okay, I won't do it. But yeah, he'll take the blade and he'll kind of like pull it out and just sort of like look at it in the light some. He'll test the balance of it, like give it a few, test swings and some swivels and some flourishes, and then he'll resheath it and sort of like strap it onto his waist, tie the knot, and say, "You honor me with these gifts. Thank you." And then he'll give another quite nice bow. The blade is quite well balanced. I'm sure it will be of great use.
And indeed, it's a fine blade, slender, graceful, perfectly balanced, fine artisanship. And what about you, Walykos?
So I have a conundrum in that I don't really want to use a sword, but it's more like an office like mark, I guess.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
is there a short sword that I can just take a short sword?
Mhm.
I don't want
Yeah, you could
anything
take
too
one if
heavy.
you want that's similar to Adriel's, or one that looks kind of distinct, like the stylization to it's a little different, like the way that the cross guard and the hilts and stuff is.
Actually, is it all right? I look among them. I walk like among them. Are there any that kind of remind me of the White Raven in any design on them? Whether it be a bird-like design, a feather design, maybe something just kind of sparks out at me, and maybe it'll become important, in my choosing.
Mhm. You look over the blades, the lighter blades that you favor.
Yeah.
None of them are birds, though you do see one that has this, lighter color steel that reminds you in some degree of the White Raven, and it could be customized. You look at like the butt of it, and you're thinking, Aygir could probably work that into a raven head shape.
Yeah,
Or
there's so many.
add onto it or something.
Yeah, there's so many different designs. I want a good piece that reminds me, feels right. I take it, I draw it out. I do like a little, moving it around to make sure that moves well, and then I resheath it, and I say, "This will be my blade."
Excellent choices. And Pin Drakestone gives you a hearty pat to your shoulders, which is good to count you both amongst the knighthood. The Duke then pats his scepter and looks towards Aygir and Vapor. The two of you are not without your own specialties. As you are not of our people, neither by lineage nor by citizenry, it is not thinkable to consider you for knighthood, nor do your particular talents align with that station. I would, however, like to give due consideration to Duncan Mantevale, who has consulted with me on this matter. Duncan. Yes, my lord. Aygir and Vapor, I have seen firsthand the arcane mastery that you possess. Though I had my misgivings at first, you have more than proven yourselves. I have spoken with the Duke and on your behalf implored him to grant unto you a title which, while not so common in this day and age, was once upon more common, and indeed is more well known in the motherland Termorgana, of Magus. It would be my great privilege to hereby entitle you both as Magus Aygir and Magus Vapor. I have also explained to the Duke your current living situations, which are not befitting of an honored person. We would be more than happy to offer you quarters at the Storm Tower, or if you wish, we could have it arranged for you to have quarters in Strong Castle. Wherever it is you choose to dwell as Magus, we would invite you to make full usage of the workshops that we maintain in both the Storm Tower and here at Long Keep.
Any response to that?
Well,
Eden?
what say you two?
You're
Nice.
muted, Vapor.
Vapor's gonna look to Aygir with like his one eye raised eyebrow, like going, "Well, this is interesting."
Well, could one be granted a small portion of land within the city?
The Duke says, well, we could potentially clear out a section of the crumble for you. Would a lot there suffice?
We need nothing so. He looks for the delicate word for frou-frou as
Grandiose?
We need not something so grandiose as lofty room in Strong Tower, but Strong Keep in Strong Castle, the Storm Tower. That's what I was in the Storm Tower.
They offered you either of those. Yeah,
but yes, there is actually a particular piece of the crumble that I was thinking about. In fact, yes, that would be wonderful.
So be it. I could have it cleared for you, and we could see about potentially building you some dwelling there. What say you to the Master of Rituals' suggestion that you both be titled as Magus? I don't know what all that entails, other than it's some sort of expert in the arcane.
I say, make us be very grateful to you for that.
Adriel actually does like kind of like look over at Walykos and just sort of like, you know, like shakes his head.
Vapor does like a small shift of the weight to try to make himself separate. Like, I'm here, part of the group, but I'm not with Aygir.
It could be so much worse.
Yeah,
Adriel.
Aygir is like now just like by himself, like in the center of everything.
With just that look on his face of someone who has just very confidently farted and is waiting for the rest of the room to smell it. Yeah.
I cast prestidigitation to make the tile turn green underneath him. No, I'm just kidding.
So Duncan Manteville explains that indeed Magus is not a very common title in Barnacle. There actually are no magi of Barnacle currently, though there are still magi in Terra Morgana.
Well, there are two now.
It's an official title of someone who's known as like a well-regarded arcanist in the city, someone who could serve as counselor, someone who could advance knowledge in the arcane arts. Basically, you are someone who has some kind of rank in the city, and you're not like a rogue mage, right? You're not like a respected mage of the city.
Was Connor Spindle never a magus?
Well, Kana
Really?
Spindle is an actual lord, right? Like he
Yeah,
has like a title
yeah,
higher.
he's Kyle Spindle
Yeah.
is Lord and Knight. He's
Right.
you know
Knight.
nowadays he would
Oh.
be Knight just in title because he's
not
let's say
active.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
Yeah,
like
he might
he's like
have been an
he-
Knight
arcane
and
fighter
Lord.
of some sort.
yeah, he's a lord and a retired knight, basically. Yeah.
He has stuff that would take precedence over the title of magus anyway. Like it would have replaced
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The way that I see it is like if you're a lord, like you can practice the arcane like
Hey man,
respectfully.
I can have as many titles as I want. You can't stop me.
Yeah, he could probably like petition for the title of Magus, and they'd probably just give it to
It's
him.
one of those things where it's just like for like in Game of Thrones, for example, how like Daenerys has like 20 different titles, and like whenever they say it, it's just like Daenerys of House Targaryen, the breaker of chains, of
Mother of Dragons.
the mother of
Those
dragons,
are-
the queen of the
the
Andal, like,
hater of bells.
yeah,
Those are
like all of this.
epithets. Those aren't titles. Her only title is queen of wherever she's queen of at any given time.
Well, she's also the Khaleesi.
Khaleesi.
Yeah,
That's
Khaleesi.
true.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you guys accept magus? Or you were waiting for them to respond to your
Vapor's running through his head of
Joke.
like, what is this worthwhile to have? And he knows if he were to go back home with this title, it would mean nothing. It just means something here on the eastern side of the island.
Mhm.
So he's kind of like, if they give it to me, they give it to me, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So he will accept the title, but it's kind of just like, yeah, I'll do it just to make them happy.
Okay. So yeah, you accept, but you know inside of your own mind, this doesn't really change who I am.
Yeah.
So who we got? With Duncan Manteville, master of rituals, grandfather of Adriel, lifts his hands up and his great mage, may I say mage, I will say lordly robe, spools, drapes down as he does. Let all who are present give witness. Aygir, gor-Temu, and Vapor are hereby entitled Magi of the city of Barnacle, upholders of the good and right application of the arcane arts, proponents of knowledge and understanding, accept here these tokens of your station, and a couple of what we call them bearers, servants, come out with these cases, and they open them up, and just like how the other two got selections of swords, they give you also selections of an arcane focus. So there are like different varieties of rods and wands and staves and orbs, things such as that. Again, well made. They're not, quite so commonly crafted of items. So it's pretty, I'm not going to say hodgepodge, but it looks like this is a collection that probably just Duncan Manteville has had for a long time, as opposed to castle artisans that constantly pursue the art of swordsmithing.
What they're
old
basically saying.
congratulations. It's the congratulations on slaying the monster beast. Here's a peek from the royal reliquary.
They're basically saying like you have the title of a council member, but we do not grant you the title. We do not grant you master.
You have a seat on the council, but you do not earn the rank of master.
Thank you. That's the quote I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay. So you each can choose an implement that represents your rank as Magus.
Okay, so there's two things that Vapor would be looking for. Do any of them look like almost metal?
The rods are.
Okay, so then the next question is, are there any designs on them specifically?
Sure. Yeah, sure. There are 3 different rods. So there is a bronze one that has really, really exotic looking designs. It doesn't look like something that's actually even from, excuse me, that's even from Haven Isle or Terra Morgana. So he clearly was got from some other land or some other continent. There is a brass one that has like elemental designs on it, and then there is an aluminium one that has abstract geometrical looking patterns.
Ooh, the aluminium one would sound great. Yeah, I think he'll pick up the aluminium one, and then I don't know if Vapor could do this, but he's going to channel his magic into it, specifically the storm magic, just to see if he gets some sort of reaction from it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So you hold that in your hand, you channel the storm magic. There's, cracking little tongues of lightning. And you see when they lick out, instead of the normal, what do we call it? Just regular, like organic, it's kind of random shapes that lightning flicks out into. They actually end up going into these real organized, like right angles and like geometrical patterns. It's a subtle effect.
Sorry, you guys are just typing. And then the brass one was the one that had like the elemental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like so he would set the aluminum one down and pick up the brass one and do the same thing just to see if he would get a different feel from it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you let it flick, and it doesn't do anything different. It probably feels pretty natural to you, as you are an elementalist in a number of ways yourself. That one probably feels pretty natural in your hands.
So if that one feels natural, he'll take that one. Yeah, because that's what he was looking. He's looking for something that's either feeling natural or will actually feel like it. Yeah, it's pretty much just going to feel natural or.
Okay, yeah, the other two feel like some exotic person from some other far off culture made these. Is this, where is this even from? So your magic had kind of different reactions. The elemental one seems to be a good fit. What about Aygir?
Well, I mean, as with anything, his first and primary goal in all of these is to find something that can integrate in some way to his armor at some point down the line. So he's probably looking for something on the order of like an arm ring or a circlet or something that can be worked into stuff. Or, just like if there's just a random rod of lordly might or like a staff of a war mage or something just lying around.
You look around. Well, the staves and the wands are made of wood. The orbs are made of glass or some kind of crystalline material. Those two rods really are the metallic ones. So there's an aluminium rod with abstract geometrical patterns on it, and there's a bronze rod that has almost these bizarre alien shapes to it.
Bizarre alien shapes, you say? Oh, that's right. I never actually learned to detect magic, didn't I? Okay, well, anyway. So abstract geometrical patterns or alien shapes.
Yeah, highly exotic, that one.
And nothing here looks directly wearable, right?
Correct.
Alien shapes, huh? How alien are we talking here?
Pretty damn alien. You've never seen anything like it before.
The kind of thing you'd find in the horde of like some cultists of Tep.
What about that chest? We found some weird alien markings on that. Would they match that chest?
Oh, that's true. From the land of wherever the dwarves brought it from. Drizzenteague, yes. Do they seem drizen
It-
fatiguish?
It might be. An excellent choice. And Duncan
all
just
right. He picks up the
like
bronze rod.
gets
Yep.
it into your hand and shuts it and calls off the servants. Well, Esmeralda, the jester, he comes to his feet and does a little wobble. What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, they've all been given gifts. Well, don't forget what I would give. A kiss to each a kiss. And he outstretches his arm, puckers his lips, and waits for someone to come and accept his wonderful.
Adriel definitely
His
turns
wonderful
his head
smooch.
away. Like Adriel is not doing it.
Vapor makes sure he's nowhere near any green tiles.
Yeah, actually, Adriel will also sort of walk in a way where it makes it look like Walykos is in front, in
I
the,
feel like Walykos is just so still recovering. He probably doesn't even notice.
Bravi, the goblin ape, saunters over and puckers up for a smooch, and Esmeralda goes. He closes his eyes and goes in, and right before the ape kisses him,
Turn around.
it comes down with the mallet once again, and knocks him out. You don't know if he's actually knocked out or if he's just clowning around.
Of course.
So, the Duke gets a little chuckle out of that. Well, let us not prolong this display any longer. We have some good food waiting on us, and it's getting cold.
Hear, hear.
We shall feast and be merry. And with that, the court is concluded. The trumpeters blare once again their wondrous chorus of trumpets, trumpeting blares and melodies, and it's all really a pretty uplifting, joyous sound that gets blasted into the air. And the music continues. There's feasting, there's drinking. Everyone wants to meet you. You have new titles, and you all can engage as much or as little as you want in this this grand banquet.
There's one person Vapor wants to go see. I think Aygir's of the same mind of who we need to go see.
This is out of character, but for the public record, I actually do know Detect Magic. I just didn't think to look at my list of prepared spells and change it today. So I just have the same spells prepared as when we fought the Night
Don't have to be ashamed of, being the best, ever.
It's been a while since I played an Arcane Caster. Anyway, is that Connis Spindle? Is that person?
No, no, it was.
She's not here.
What's
right
her
now,
name?
is he?
Yeah, I blanking on the name.
House that are they a noble?
Ellen's mom.
Demelza Drakestone.
Demelza.
Yeah. Actually, I think Aygir would also want to talk to her. He's in agreement.
Okay. You all go to speak with Demelza Drakestone. She has been in mourning for some time, and generally when in public, she is wearing all black, black veil, etc. This day, however, is the first time since the death of Rourke and then later Elwyn that she has changed out of her mourning clothes and is wearing a bright colored gown, gleaming jewelry, makeup on, hair done up, and her spirits are lifting. She's a beautiful woman, probably mid 40s, 47, I believe is her age. And she is attended by, some other people of Drakestone, other families and minor beholden houses and friends. And when you approach her,
is her third son there Elwyn's younger brother? as well?
I'm looking. I imagine he is there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, he's nearby. I'm trying. Marwyn, there he is. Marwyn is nearby. So you all approach demelza, and she politely breaks off the conversation she was having with the person to her side. Oh, it's so joyous of a day. I finally feel that actual justice has been brought. I can't say thank you enough.
We are, at least I am grateful that we were able to put to rest that murder.
It is a joy for all, and I'm glad that in part it bring. Oh wait, I'm not there. I'm sorry.
I was about to
I
say,
just,
wait,
like-
was Walykos there too? I
Did
thought-
Walykos also
I just
follow
hear
them
you guys
over?
talking. I assume that I'm there, and I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm not. My
Yeah, yeah.
No
apologies.
worries, no worries.
I was like, I think Adriel and Walykos are just like probably doing something else.
Yeah. Aygir, I and our two companions also were able to finish something else that I came to you before on. Elwyn has been completely avenged as well.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Yes. The last, as far as we can tell and we're truly believing of it, the last of the creatures that killed him are gone.
You are responsible for avenging the deaths of both of my sons. I'm indebted to you. If there's anything that I can do, tell me, and if it is within my power, I will grant it to you.
At some point, we about to head out to the. Make sure I'm saying these right. 'Cause I can never say all your names. The steam curtains. Any assistance getting out to there would repay the debt.
Steam curtain. Well, it's a long journey. Are you in need of Xenas or perhaps a squad of guardsmen to escort you?
Xenos would probably be all that we would need. Would you say, Aygir?
I actually think we can manage our own way out there, especially once we reach the lands of my people.
So then, at least Xenos to that far. Then.
If I can furnish you with mounts and even provisions, if it would be it would be my pleasure. It'd be the least that I could do for you.
And all I would ask is raise your last son like you did your other two. They were good men.
Someday down the line, you're gonna be like shot full of holes, sitting by a tank, waiting for the enemy to arrive, and you're gonna tell that kid, "Earn this." That's Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan.
Marwyn is another issue altogether. I think he has a lot of his brother Elwyn in him, an adventurous spirit, an explorer, a thrill seeker, and something of an idealist. And I know that they were close, and Elwyn was quite an influence on him, had a big impact on him. And the thought of him following in his brother's footsteps and stumbling into his demise is more than I can even bear to think about.
I can understand that. But Elwyn died protecting us. We're only standing here today because of him.
Us and the entire city.
I don't know what else I can do. I still dream of him. I still cannot sleep at night. Maybe I'll have some peace now, some closure from this day here today. But I feel as though I'm haunted by his ghost.
We can only move forward and try our best.
If it is any consolation to you, it is not ready yet, and I would not go down there as noble lady such as yourself. But there is a cenotaph that I am building for your son and our other companion that we lost down there, and as now someone with what I understand is some title in this city, I will do the best that my own and any supplied funds can do to make it perhaps not as grand an edifice as this building, but to do what I can to make sure it is a protected structure that will survive any tests of time or any attempts at thievery. And he scans the room to find Adriel and just shoot him a glare from afar as he says that last bit.
You're too late. He did it off screen.
I would love to see this memorial. It would be amazing. Send word when it is completed. And well, there's one other thing. Marwyn, come here, please, Marwyn. And Marwyn comes and joins his mother's side. He's a younger lad. He's 15 years old. Maybe he's 16 by now at the most. And he looks at you all. Human boy, so he's a mixture of elven and dwarven blood. And he kind of looks up at you all. And, thank you. He just gives you a simple thank you and is not one for big words. I wonder if I might be able to send him to you in the future. Hopefully farther off, but it might be in the near future for guidance and instruction. I think that if I continue to worry over him and hold him back, he is going to end up rebelling against me and coming upon some sort of tragedy, not unlike his brother.
Now, out of character, him palling around with us seems pretty inadvisable.
I'm already thinking of ideas on that, though.
But if you could give him some instruction or words of advice, I would be willing to compensate you and pay you for this work.
I can't train him in my magic, but I can train him to be an alchemist. If I can't, we could send him to my mother for that, if that's what you want.
What about your companions, the knights? Couldn't they train me in swordplay?
For knights, those two are not exactly the greatest swordsmen in the city.
A quarterstaff smacks you upside the head.
One prefers to fight with a staff, and the other is more about sneaking around and stabbing from behind with knives.
Get a little of this shit talk, Adriel.
Hey, I am a knight of
Aygir would be the
Barnacle.
better
You
swords
don't
trainer
get to
if
say
you want.
that.
Marwyn looks a bit disappointed.
Though if you wish to learn swords, there are a few out in the clouds that could teach you. There are no masters.
Upon the cloud step are the greatest sword masters of all on this island. Well, at least when they are not busy riding a Xena or shooting a bow.
Aygir, what about your father? You think he would take him in to train?
Who? The archer? Never saw him pick up a sword. He's a smith. He makes them. He doesn't swing them terribly well. Though,
Oh, then would he know anyone who could?
well, of course, our tribe is numerous. But I will warn you, our saber style is a bit different than the fancy, noble, pinky extended tricks of the locals here. It is more fluid, and as he does it, he doesn't actually draw a sword indoors again, but mimes doing some moves that are more suited to a curved, cut focused sword than like a cut and thrust or a stabbing thing like a rapier.
So Marwyn seems disappointed, but also a little confused. Demelza simply says, "When the time comes for you all to be taking your journey, please inform me, and I will do what I can to furnish you with zinas and provisions."
We will. And thank you
As for
again.
Marwyn, well, we'll see who might be the best instructor for him when that day comes.
I'll write to my mother, see if she knows any swordsmasters out in the curtain. And then we also have Aygir's family as well, who might be able to help. If this art you truly wish to learn.
That interests Marwyn when you talk about him, venturing across to the other side of the island, that sort of, grand trek or expedition of wonder that like puts a glimmer in his eye.
When Aygir sees that, though,
that's the sort of thing that I want.
When Aygir sees that, though, he kicks him slightly in the back of the knee so his legs bow outward a little bit and says, "Your legs are too straight. Learn to ride a Xena first, or the steps will eat you alive."
He is right.
I know how to ride a Xena.
I should like to see this sometime. Do you know how to ride a Xena, or do you let the beast ride you?
Certainly the writing techniques must be of a different tradition where you're from, but perhaps he would have something to learn in that area as well. Though I don't think, Marwyn, that you're ready to make this sort of voyage. And Marwyn makes some complaints about why not? Elwyn and Rourke were already
Vapor pulls out
on their
his
way
staff.
to knighthood when they were my age.
Vapor pulls out his staff, takes his dagger, and marks it like about a good 6 inches above Marwyn's head, and plops it down next to him. You need to be over that mark.
Now, as a hobgoblin and a Genasi here, have you just unknowingly marked taller than he will ever be?
No.
Oh, look, there's Elijah. Thank you. And he goes off to go meet with his friend and get himself out of this weird conversation. Demelza says, "Well, again, I can't thank you enough. I look forward to being able to assist you in your expedition. Again, I will be here for when the time comes. Let me know."
I'll come to you as soon as we're ready to begin our preparations.
So, this banquet is really nice, and there's a lot of great stuff to eat and to drink, to smoke as well. And it's a big affair. So let me ask you all, though, do we want to do anything more with this, or do we want to get on to something else, such as Fungus Cave, or back down into the crumble, the lava dungeon under the crumble? Because I think we're due for getting back into some dungeoneering.
Right. There's one small out of character business thing about Aygir is that the land in the crumble that was mentioned, obviously that's going to be the place right above the entrance to the arcane sanctum in the lava dungeon.
That was the impression that I got.
The idea would be that they would probably want to have some sort of not a huge castle, but like a small manse of reasonable means, but some perhaps opulence built right over top of it, so that essentially they're they would control. We would control the entrance to it.
Yeah, I get it.
Vader's going
Anyway.
to go the opposite direction. He's going to take that cave entrance exit that we went through when we met.
There we go.
Just so that way we got both ends covered.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I'm sure
yeah.
that if someone wants to get down there, there'll be so many ways they could get in.
Yeah, but we're trying to cover like the 2 easy access points.
Makes sense. You have access to the tunnel system. You can get around. So Esper, the only thing that concerns me that I wanted to kind of handle, but not in open, like public, is I wanted to have the council with Drakestone and tell them, hey, the Night Stalker wasn't just some rando, he was sent here, and I want to know what they know, if they had any information before we gave them about Bale Vonder and his, hopefully this isn't a shock to them, but if it is a shock to them, I need them to be working on it to help us, as well.
Sure. Well, what do you all think? Should we have a council scene first, or should we do a dungeon delve first?
I mean, chronologically, the
council scene probably would not happen like the next day. It would probably happen a few days later.
Why don't we wait? What if we did something like
we could say like you are organizing or planning a council and it's going to happen in
that's
some amount of days.
That's fine.
And
I thought that was going to happen immediately.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, since I think all of us are kind of wanting to do some dungeoning, I definitely want to do some dungeoning. Maybe we can like plan the council meeting for like a few days later, and then we can do the dungeon stuff, and then when we come back, we can do the council stuff.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a good plan of action?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I think we could do cool role playing at this banquet. It'd be really nice, but thinking in terms of like balancing what happens in our campaign, I think getting back into the Dungeons and Dragons part of it is a good move.
Well, we don't even know what dragons and
you know what? If something is like dungeons and more dungeons. All right, so we could even potentially do a little retcon role play thing later if someone thinks later like, oh, Adriel would have talked to Duncan Mantevale about something. Anything that doesn't like make any difference in the storyline, I think we could bring that up later. I just think I'm thinking in terms of campaign balance.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, like, I definitely like if like I would like to talk to Duncan, maybe Walykos a bit, do some role play there. But like, I'm cool with just doing some dungeon stuff. Like, we haven't done that in a while, so.
I was going to ask if Kana Spindle was there or if he doesn't make public appearances anymore, but we obviously don't need to go through the whole... All right.
No, Kana Spindle was not there, though. Someone will be delivering him the notes, right?
Including not Dunka, but the new Bright, his new
Mercy.
Mercy, yes, that's it.
That is true. Yes, Mercy will be delivering him the notes. All right, so cool. There's a council, a private council set with the vanguard and the Duke and some other interested parties, persons of interest. That's going to occur here in some days' time, the immediate future.
It just seems odd to me that this is like time critical information. They're like, oh, we'll do it a couple days from now. It's not that time sensitive, but it is.
Okay, so I don't know if they were operating under that that notion.
If I could even leave it with like his advisors and then we'll discuss it, in a couple days, that's fine. I just want the information to be handed off to Drakestone because they need to know. Like, what if Bale Vonder struck tomorrow? Like who could say when his plans come to fruition? And they could be like, oh, well, why didn't you tell us? And we'll be like, well, you said 4 days.
Well,
from now.
What would Walykos do? Like Walykos,
I would pull aside the seneschal.
You go and you maybe you ask the seneschal or someone here, when is this council going to happen? And the impression you get is like
4 days.
oh yeah, we're going to let you know here in a few days.
week,
It's like it's important, but there's not a strong urgency to it.
I would pull him aside and I would say, this information could be sensitive. Like, we need to get someone looking into this. Who is the advisor to the king that I need to speak to in terms of security of the city? Would it be Penn Drakestone? Is it one of his advisors, some counselor?
Well, at an event like this, you can speak to pretty much anyone you want. It's like
I'm asking the seneschal.
One of the, you're like one of the men of the hour. So I think a seneschal is fine and good. So you speak to Seneschal Wellings, Crane Wellings, and you tell him this is more serious or more urgent than you realize.
Yeah,
we need to have this council as soon as possible.
And even if we don't have the council right away, I need to give information that'll reach the Duke's ear as soon as possible.
Okay, so you impress that upon the court seneschal, and he says, "Oh, well, I see. No, I was not aware that things were potentially that urgent. I'm going to speak with the Duke and impress that upon him." So you put some fire onto that topic, and if you want, we can do it this way. You all do your like a quick expedition, and then you come back for the council.
Quick is the expedition to the mushroom cave or wherever.
I think it could just be 1 day because it's.
I didn't know how close.
It's just in the tangle.
Okay.
So you can get to the tangle in just a couple hours, basically.
I'm fine with just kind of hand waving. I talk to the seneschal, but like, if the seneschal was kind of like, yeah, you'll have your chance, and kind of brushed me off, I might even just try to get Penn Drakestone to listen, because I just want someone to know, hey, there's a giant who's actively working to bring down the city.
Sure. So you did not get a sense of being brushed off. You got a sense of they are unaware of the potential gravity of the situation. Now, maybe someone else here does have a clue, but the court seneschal certainly did not. To him, it seemed, just as fine whether you have a meeting in 1 week or 2 weeks.
I get it. That's why I'm trying to like push it, but it's fine. Let's just move on. We can do it tomorrow. Like
sure.
in the chronological.
Sure. So we it's basically like this. Your team has this expedition planned, and it's important to you. It's particularly important to Vapor. That's on your agenda, and it's a pretty high priority. The Duke obviously has some priorities on his agenda as well. He doesn't just sit around all day. But something's going to get bumped, and your council is going to get put in its place.
Yeah.
And you're going to be speaking with him just like here in the day after the next, or the day after
office. We got an appointment scheduled. Yeah. Got it.
So you're in for. I don't think we need to be super specific about it. Let's say you do the fungus cave, you immediately come back, and then we have the council.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Just don't die at the fungus cave.
Well, if we TPK, they'll wonder what happened to us.
All right.
We knight them and then they leave the city? What's going on?
All right. So you all are traveling up into this sub-region known as the Tangle.
Yep.
You've been there before, particularly Aygir and Vapor have been there a number of times.
Have you been working on this map?
I haven't added anything to it for some time now because we haven't gone to any new locations yet. And
I don't remember test on whatever that is out there.
Okay. This is version
no,
3
on
of the
the
map.
old. No, the
This is
last
version
map
3 of the
you
map that I've
shared.
had for a few months.
That's where the map that you shared a while back. It had it on there. So
Okay.
you
I
might have
must
just
not have
missed it.
noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
Stonehenge in
have.
the water, it looks like.
uh,
Yeah, because I don't
it's
have
Tastian
Black
Itzat.
Rock or the
Tastian
filled in.
Itzat. It's supposed to be hard to pronounce. It's like a giant word. Tastian Itzat.
So hard you can't even say it yourself.
I'm not fluent in the giant tongue. So
Of course.
yeah, sorry.
All right, to the tangle then.
Tastian Itzat. There we go. It's not so hard once you get it a couple times. So you all travel. It's going to be, like a 1 day, day and a half, maybe. You got to go kind of deeper into the tangle now that I think about it. Is there any particular preparation that you all do before you go, or do you feel that you're ready as is?
Well, Aygir and Vapor might potentially just get together and have a little detect magic party and try and figure out what it is they picked up.
Yeah, Vapor would be down for that. That wouldn't really affect the timeline, so it'd just be.
Are you talking about the items from the ceremony, from the court?
Yeah.
Okay. So none of those were magic items. The swords, the rods, they're fine crafted, but they don't have magic imbued into them.
I think they got a couple thousand gold to spend on us. They just gave us titles of knighthood. I mean, that cost them nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's still one of those things. Vapor's still gonna do it because of how his magic reacted to it.
Mm-hmm. Also, bear in mind, even though it is a fairly high magic setting, it's still not so common for there to be magic items, right? There's still a pretty, there's not a great abundance of them out there. They're wondrous and rare things. All right. So, Aygir, have you prepared your best spells that you need for this adventure this time?
Yes, he has indeed prepared detect magic at the cost of fairy fire, thinking that we might not. Well, at the cost of absorb elements. He has not prepared absorb elements. He's prepared cure wounds, fairy fire, magic missile, thunder wave, and detect magic.
Just can't give it up, can you?
Don't worry. Adriel's he's got his short swords, he's got his leather armor, and he's got all of his skills. Adriel's good to go.
Vapor is packed and ready to go. He's got what he believes he needs.
Okay.
Though he is carrying an extra satchel that has a bunch of just empty jars in it.
You are looking for a kind of herb. It's a kind of fungal, ferny. I'm not quite sure what it is exactly, but it's called Frog's Trident. You're looking for this. You have it.
Esprizes, because I did type it down. The common tongue or elven tongue, it's Frog Trident, I believe is what you said.
Yeah, that's right. And you've got a description of what it looks like. Apparently, it's in this deep fungal cave known as Mornawoom. And you first travel out of Barnacle. You go out the port gate. You travel up through the port district, through the wharf areas and the docks and the wharf buildings. And then you soon get into the Tangle, which is a kind of mushroom forest with these giant mushrooms. Many different varieties of giant mushrooms here, some of which strictly are mushrooms. Other are these mutapod creatures that began as jellyfish-like organisms. Then they come up onto land as part of their life cycle and put their tendrils into the ground that become like roots. And they kind of like puff up like these big mushroom stalks, and they have these like trailing tresses. And in the oldest stage of their life cycle, they actually petrify and become the final cycle is called petripod, and it's like a really hard stone. You make your way to the Firbolg clan village, and you Vapor had spoken to what would we call him? An outdoorsman, like a hunter, ranger, guide. Maybe we want to call him a guide. And he gives you some more indications where you're going to find Mornawoom. So I would like somebody to be a navigator. You're going to be making a survival check.
Adriel.
You have some. You were given some good directions and maybe even something of a rudimentary map by the Fearbolt guide. So you have a decent notion of where you're heading, but still you're going to be traveling through Mushroom Forest for a number of hours at least.
Well, I might be able to assist with that.
Vapor will do it because he's pretty much the one who wanted to go out here, so he'll do his darn best.
I mean, I am really good at it, but if you want to do it, sure, I'm not going to stop you.
Walykos is like,
you're
like, Vapor, I can do this better, and Vapor's just like, no.
In your current iteration, are you actually like significantly skilled at survival?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
But that's okay. Vapor seems so
Walykos...
confident. I don't want to deprive him of this.
Actually,
Aygir, who used to be the best, though not all that great, would probably not know this
Aygir
yet,
used to be the
you...
least worst.
Yeah.
I will,
now actually considered good.
Like when Vapor starts looking at the map and kind of like doing his own thing, like Adriel will kind of walk up to him and be like,
"Let him roll. Let him roll. He doesn't. We don't know. He might."
Oh, I know. I know he's gonna do the roll, but like Adriel's still gonna walk up to him just for roleplay purposes and say, "Vapor, I know that this is your goal, your adventure, but I don't want to get lost in the forest. Perhaps we should let Walykos have a go at the map."
Vapor's going to actually freeze up for a bit because you remember the last encounter he had with Adriel, and Adriel's like angry at him and stuff, and that's just going to kind of throw him for a loop.
Yeah, that Adriel's like not like yelling at you anymore.
Yeah, and just like how calm and like pleasant he sounds, and it's just like
a sociopath, man. This is my
yeah. So he's kind of thrown for a loop there, and then looks at him and goes, "You think Walykos can get us there?" Then?
Well, I think that he's better at it than you. There's the animosity that you were looking for.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, it's like he probably is, but it's like at the same time, Vapor's like it's like trying to figure out like he takes the map and goes over to Walykos and goes, Adriel thinks you're be best at this. Would you mind assisting me on this at least?
Certainly, Vapor. I'd be happy
and he starts pointing like where he believes they need to go and trying to get feedback from the guy who probably actually can get us there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll for the survival check, Esper.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, that's not bad. 15.
All right. So you've got the number right on the money. I am going to be still rolling as you're traveling through some wilderness area here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you traverse for a good few hours through mushroom forest terrain. It's difficult terrain in some areas and less difficult in others. You get the indication that some people have made this trek before. There's not a road. There's not even a path.
Trail, maybe
something like that. Yeah. It's not even really a path. It's just a kind of a trampled trail here and there. And you pass by, the towering stalks of mushroom and even smaller bushes. And there are some plant life here as well, particularly these, ferny, mossy bits all over the place. But you lead your party without getting lost, without stumbling onto any kind of danger, and nothing, jumps out and starts growling at you along the way. And eventually you come to a cave mouth. It's not particularly high. You have to crouch. You have to stoop your head down, especially the hobgoblin. You have to stoop down a bit to get through the cave mouth. And it's got these hanging tresses, these hanging fungal tresses, almost like a curtain that you have to move, the mossy, mucky bits of it aside to really get in there. And upon entering the cave of Mourn-a-Womb, you're struck first by the pungent smells. There are these pungent, earthy, and fungal smells that just assault your noses. It's quite dark inside. You don't see any kind of lighting. So once you get past where the sunlight's feeding through, you're going to probably get into just pure darkness.
Vapor will cast
It's
light.
it's cool in there. The atmosphere is definitely cool, but it's this like clinging, moist cool.
Vapor probably feels just at home because this sounds like the steam curtain. What the steam curtain would be like.
Okay. Does anyone have a light source or any like
Vapor has cast
entrance
Dark vision.
effect unity?
Vapor has cast light because he can actually he can't technically see in the dark.
Which should help him and Adriel. But yeah, Walykos and Aygir do both have dark vision.
Yeah, I don't have dark vision, and if it's like pitch black, I don't think Adriel would be in the front. Because like I can't see. Like I'm not gonna
Put
be
me
a
up
good
front.
scout. Yeah, like I wouldn't be a good scout if I can't see. I can be behind Walykos. Like I'll be there to
Yeah.
help out, but like me being in the front leading would not be a good idea since I can't actually see without the light.
So yeah, I have 60 foot of dark vision, and
Aygir will go right behind him.
I'll have my quarterstaff in hand. And I don't know if you want me to explicitly say this, but is it fine to just have Shillelagh going? Like,
Okay,
it's a bonus action that lasts for a minute, so I assume I can just,
Mhm.
so long
You
as
can
I'm not
maintain
tied
it.
up. Yeah.
Mhm.
It takes very little concentration. So
Okay. All right. So you have the Petripod staff in hand. You've got it, imbuing it with your magic, and then Adriel, you have 2 short swords. Is that right? Or do you want a ranged weapon? What do you want in hand?
No, I'd probably keep both my short swords in hand. Yeah.
Short swords in hand. Aygir.
Yeah, so he would be second, probably ahead of Adriel behind Walykos. And with his armor in Guardian configuration.
Okay. Anything in hand?
His 2 thunder weapons, his saber and spiked shield.
Saber and spike shield. Excellent. And then Vapor, you what would you want to cast light on? What object?
He'll just use a stone as he usually does. So that way if they have to go into the dark, he can just close his hand around it.
How much light does the light spell emit? Is it like 20 feet? Like same as a torch?
20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light.
Okay, yeah. So I won't need to put a torch. Bring out a
Is
torch.
the stone something that you wear? It's like on a necklace, or is it something you're holding in your hand?
He's holding it in his hand, and he's holding it kind of like
if
this.
you
So that way,
guys
if he's got
actually don't mind me walking like 20 to 25 feet ahead of you, if I'm in dim light, I can actually hide even if being directly observed. So
Everybody okay with that?
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good.
All right.
so
Just don't jump off
Anything else in
cliffs.
hand, Vapor?
He's got his new
implement.
arcane focus in hand.
All right, excellent. You have the brass rod in hand.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have probably clarified. Like I was kind of in the same mindset of Walykos. Like I'm probably not actually using the blade that I was given. It's probably like in my room or something. Like it's not a fighting
Okay.
weapon.
I mean, keep it as a ceremonial blade.
Yeah, like I'm
yeah,
sure
we'll
it
wear
can
it
be
when
used-
we go into court.
Exactly. It's more of like a ceremony. Like I don't want to stain it with like blood and like killings and like it's not intended for that. So
I mean, if I ever get it enchanted in some meaningful way, maybe I might.
Yeah,
consider
exactly.
using it, but
for now, though.
Okay. So Walykos, you with your dark vision glance ahead, you see the the mucky walls that are coated in slimes and molds and other bits.
mhm.
This real clinging, cloying, cool yet moist atmosphere, pungent smells. Let's see. After it's outside of the light, you're just kind of seeing through this like dim, shadowy black and white. But you do make out that there's some kind of large fungus.
Mhm.
What do I call this? Fungus pod. I'll call it a pod or a mushroom head.
Yeah.
And then there's this ledge. It looks like
fruiting
there's
body.
a drop off. What is it?
They're called fruiting bodies.
There we go. A fruiting body. Okay. There are tiny vermin that scamper by as you make your way in Walykos. There's rats and beetles scuttling about. You see some slugs on the wall eating at some of the slime. So above head, you see some ghost bats. Ghost bats are not truly bats. They're these little, like, pale, semi-translucent jellyfish-looking things that have these two membranes at their side. It's like they're like no bigger than two hands outstretched, and they do kind of do a fluttery maneuver. Usually they live in the sea, but they'll come into caves at times and like eat, fungus and spores and like lick the mineral-rich waters that drip in the caves here. Eventually they do become fungus, and then later like a little mini petropod thing. So you see these ghost bats flutter by overhead, and otherwise it's silent in here, silent and still.
So 2 things. Walykos would be staying ahead of the light and actually hiding as a bonus action, which he can do, even if being observed.
Okay,
Once he's
so you're
in-
moving along stealthily ahead.
Yep. And then 2, I just wanted to let you know, because it may come up, and I don't want you to be surprised by it. I have a 21 passive perception.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case
Okay.
there's something that you're like, I
Sure.
don't even need a roll for it.
For sure. Though, bear in mind that does go down to 15 if you're outside of that light.
I have dark vision.
Well, if there's no light, all you see is
Black
dim.
and white.
Yeah, it's dim, so it's disadvantage on perception.
No, dark vision.
It's a common misconception. A lot of people think dark vision lets you see perfectly in pure blackness, though it doesn't. It lets you see shadowy dim, which is disadvantage
like,
on perception.
It's like night vision goggles. Dark vision in modern D&D is what infravision was in old school D&D, which is literally just like seeing infrared.
Okay.
So you see like outlines and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
You don't make out colors, and things are still murky and shadowy, but you're not blind, so you see the objects, the shapes of objects and such.
If you need me to actively roll, I will. I just wanted to let you know you have a baseline of if it's below a certain DC, I might just auto see it.
Excellent. Do you have any particular tactic here, or are you just walking ahead?
I would like to
stealthily, trying to be quiet.
Being quiet, and I'd like to go over to the area where the not petropods, the little mushrooms are, and I'd like to examine it with nature and see if it's. I doubt it's what we're looking here for. If it is, then hey, cool adventure, guys. Let's go.
Ha ha ha. So the shape of the thing you're looking for. It has like this triple spiraling frond thing, and it's a greenish color. So it's pretty distinct, and that's definitely not it. But for certainly roll a nature check.
Let's see.
That will represent what you might already know about this kind of fungus.
This could be poison that we could use. It could be something else. Oh, okay. 19.
Okay. Yes, you do identify. You have some knowledge of this fungus. It's not something that you want to get very close to. If you get too close of it, it's going to puff out. Or burst out these spores, and they can give you like a sinus reaction, a lot of like mucus and eyes stinging and itching and watering.
It's a sort of a poison. Yeah,
it's sort of a poison, almost like a bad allergic reaction.
Do I know the safe distance?
It's not a poison that would like hurt you or make you like ill or kill you or anything, but
it's just a poisonous effect. Yeah. Do I know the safe distance that can we avoid it by walking on the other side of the hall? Is there no way to avoid it? Like this could be placed here as some sort of trap, in a sense, a natural trap,
Sure. A hazard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to stay at least, in metagame terms, you want to stay at least 5 feet away from it. So you want to just kind of like skirt around this wall.
I would like to meet up with the group. I want to be before going there, I go back and I just want to convey this information. That plant up ahead, the sort of glowing fungus, has some poisonous qualities to it, and it'll shoot spores if you get too close to it, stay at least 5 feet away from it. Preferably avoid it, as far as you can.
Reminds me of the what are those creatures called with the eggs? What are they called again?
Balai.
Balai. Reminds
Balai.
me of the Balai eggs.
Those could shoot considerably more than 5 feet.
Hmm.
Because
And
I think
something
I was
a bit
there
worse
for it.
than spores.
Yeah. Well, in any case, I'm going to keep going ahead, but just stay to the left side of the hall. So, Esper, go ahead and put me back where you had me, and I'll continue going.
Okay, excellent. There's a. What was I? I was going to say something here.
Yeah.
Oh yes, there's a name. It's called Widow's Goblin.
Widow's Goblin.
Yep. Oh, that was the other thing. You said glowing. It does not glow. Just if you put light on it, it has a kind of a yellowish, orange yellow coloration to it. Yeah, Widow's Goblin. Actually, it's actually referring to like nose goblins, like an old lady's snot.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's really what that name means.
So it sneezes at you.
Yeah, it makes you sneeze. Yeah, it sneezes at you and it makes you sneeze a lot.
Just out of curiosity, is there any way to safely harvest it so it can be useful?
Well, I mean,
Just
there might
curious.
be. There could possibly be.
Well, would my 19 nature let me know that?
You would need to be clever and cautious.
All right, fair enough.
A mage hand. Yeah, mage hand could do it.
I do have mage hand. So.
Okay. Woo! All right.
That's fine. I'll deal with it on the way out if we want it. Yeah.
I wonder if maybe it's the main ingredient in MIRRORMOURN in dust and itching and sneezing.
I mean, it could be a natural, supplicant. So who knows?
All right. So you see this ledge up ahead.
Okay.
What do you want to
crouch? I'll crouch and go to the ledge to take a look.
All right. So you crouch up to the ledge. Is everybody just following behind Walykos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told them that it was safe
staying along that far wall on the opposite side of the Widow's Goblin, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Where's my tool? Okay, there it is. Got it. All right. So you come and you crouch at the ledge and you take a look at what's around you. Okay, so I'm going to reveal some things around. Okay.
I'm getting a flashback to our previous campaign as we're going down into that place. What was it on the island?
Oh, are you talking about when we with the iron golem?
No.
The spider cave.
Spider cave, yes.
Oh
thank you.
yeah.
Oh, okay. The spider cave.
I had this sudden
Oh my gosh, I'm getting that too. Oh my.
It's the tunnel. I think the tunnel that led in.
It does look exactly like that tunnel.
Subconsciously, Esper's putting that in my head.
You see here a drop off.
Mm-hmm.
It goes down 20 feet. So you're at this ledge here.
Yeah.
And then down here that's 20 feet down. Okay. And see this ledge on the other side. That's the same elevation that you're currently at.
Understood.
And I can even.
Can you give me a distance across?
Note.
Yeah.
Across is
from one ledge to the other.
25 feet at the narrowest point.
Understood.
And I'm going to just mark a negative 20 feet here, just so we can remember. Okay, so that's at negative 20. You're at +0, and this is at +0 on the other side here.
I assume all those circles are the same fungus, or are they different?
There are some similar looks, but you're not sure if they're exactly the same. If you want, go ahead and do another nature check.
Certainly. I got that time a 5, so probably not.
Okay, so you're not quite sure. There are some variations in the shape. There's some general characteristics that are similar, but with these variations, you're not sure if it's exactly if it's Widow's Goblin or if it's something else.
It's not what I'm looking for though. If I would know that when I see it. So okay, I'll wait for the others to catch up while I start plotting how to get across here, because it looks like we have to go down or across.
Yeah, you see that it's going up this way. There's
and then
there's tunnels this way, this way. There's kind of a lot of branching out going on, but the main two options would be go down into this kind of ravine area or get across, jump across, or somehow make your way over there. So you wait for the whole party to catch up.
Yeah, how far across is the ravine again?
The shortest point is 25 feet. It'd be like from there to there. I think that's 25.
How does the long jumping work again? Like, I'm not saying this is what I'm
If
gonna
you get a
do.
running start, it's a number of feet equal to your strength score. If you don't get a running start, it's half.
What if you have a 0 for your strength?
then
It's
10.
strength score.
It's
score.
actually. Oh, I see it. My bad. I gotcha.
So someone with superhuman ability could vault 20 feet in theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the map.
What about my boots of striding?
Getting down this like rock wall, we'll call it there. Could probably be climbed. It does have like this molds and slimes. It's kind of, it looks slippery, but there are some decent amount of handholds, so it doesn't exactly daunt you. You've been to freaking Black Rock Isle, and that terrain was much more daunting.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna have to climb down if we want to continue.
Walykos will get some rope out of his pack, and we'll look for some place to secure it up here. Esper, is there such a place?
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a piton, you could hammer it into the rock. If someone has like a climber's kit, that's going to be in there.
Yeah, I don't have a climber's kit. I have rope.
I think a Dungeoneer's pack should have
Dungeoneer's pack,
something like that.
Yep. Okay, so Dungeoneer's pack, you've got a little hammer and pitons.
Yep.
Clack, clack.
Esper, I can't find my notes on the boots, but I have boots of leaping and striding. What was the distance on that jump?
Oh, boots of leaping and striding.
Yes.
They're the true ones. The ones that
you
give
could,
you
like-
10 feet.
This is not the Dungeon Master's Guide boots of piddly fiddly. This is the classic boots of striding and springing.
Asturian ones.
Your walking speed increases by 10 feet, and your jump distance is doubled.
So what's your strength score is what it comes down to, Vapor. Double whatever your strength score
My
is.
strength's only 10.
So you could get 20 feet.
20 feet. Does anyone have a strength of 13 or higher?
I think we're all like weak people.
I guess you'd have to be attuned
I
to the
have a
boots.
strength of 13. I mean,
that the highest in the party? That might well be the highest in the party.
I think that's the highest. Yeah. I have
What's
a
your
10.
strength, Aygir?
10.
Ah,
Guys, I have a 10.
Adriel?
I have a 10.
Anything-
Wait, I have a 10 with a belt of giant strength.
that's right.
I have less than a 10.
Why do you have that belt of giant strength again?
Oh, the +2 strength belt.
Yeah.
So a belt of giant strength would give you the strength of a particular kind of giant.
Yeah,
a lot higher than
it's
10.
Or not the belt of giant.
These are Esper items. They're not
the one
quite
that we
the
found.
same.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's
that's
a
why.
belt-
better
that's
in
why-
some
a
ways.
belt of bull strength +2.
Yeah. And that's why I don't have a negative to my strength.
Yeah, that's fair. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to secure the rope up here. Ideally, can we do, you see kind of to the left and down that avoids the giant circle mushrooms?
Over here?
Yeah, like right there is kind of where I would like to, because there's a nice open area right down there, it looks like.
Like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So you drive a piton through, you get a rope attached to it. let's see. It's a little precarious to get it set up there. Could I have you give me an, let's see, I think athletics would fit.
I can do athletics. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think athletics seems like the best choice in this case.
18.
Okay. So you maneuver yourself and you have to hold on to some wall bits, and it's a little tricky to get it set up over there, but it's not bad.
I mean,
and you get everything put in place,
yeah.
and you go down.
Well, actually, we get one piton there. Can we get another piton kind of closer to the safe area? That way you could actually use the rope, to hold on so you don't fall off while trying to get to the rope. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I mean, I take the risk first to get it all set up because you have to
All
kind
right.
of free climb. But yeah, like that. Exactly. You get it.
All right. And then you go down.
Yes.
Okay. So you climb down the rope that you get rigged up there, and you're in the midst of all these large fruiting bodies, these fungal mushrooms and puffballs and whatnot. And you're not quite sure which of them might be hazardous and which of them aren't. But if you come across something, actually, you know what? I will even go you one further and make a little marking on one that you like.
Definitely
you
know
feel
for sure.
certain
Yeah.
that it's Widow's Goblin. So let's say
I
this
appreciate
one
that.
here you identify, and this one here you identify.
Which one?
So you're thinking probably
perfect.
want to stay away from those two.
Got it. So
Now-
I can avoid those.
Having known Firbolgs for some time, would Aygir recognize any of these? Any of the ones that Walykos doesn't?
Nature check.
Yeah, go ahead and do a nature check there, Aygir.
All right. Ooh, that's not terrible. That's actually really not terrible. That's I'm good at intelligence. I'm not proficient in nature, but I'm good at intelligence. So that is a 17.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
That's good. Okay, so there are a couple things you notice. One is that there are some beneficial fungi in here, like mushrooms that have utility purpose to them. Their fibers, right, could serve as maybe something you could use in housing or even in a textile, serving sort of like almost like a wood or a leather type function. And you also identify another hazardous type of mushroom, which let's see, this one is called Blue Crown, and I'm going to outline it as you can relay to your allies to stay away from this one. This
Shame
one,
there aren't any-
it does.
Go ahead.
It does look somewhat similar in very general terms to the Widow's Goblin,
Right.
but its effects are a little different. And it will actually be like a harmful, poisonous spore that it shoots out.
Right.
So you might holler to Walykos, like, don't get any closer to that one.
Stay away from that one. That one's not good. It's like Widow's Goblin, but worse.
Understood. Thank you for the warning.
Aygir, you believe in this like area here, those are the only hazardous fungi, just those three.
I will move
None of the others
directly.
catch your eye.
I'll move directly across to the other wall opposite me, below the Widow's Goblin. Yep, exactly. And I would like to try and climb that with my. I assume you used your rope for the first rope.
Sure.
Aygir? I'll borrow a couple pitons from you and have my rope ready to set up for this side, so we can quickly
All right.
get across.
Do you want to do an athletics check to climb this side?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
As a 19 on the die plus 4, so 23.
Okay. So as I described before, the walls are kind of slick, kind of slippery, but
Yeah.
there's a good amount of handhold. It's not like a really smooth or sheer type it's real, varying and jutting parts and ledges and such. So it's kind of a moderate difficulty climb. You excel at that, and you get yourself up there, and you set up another rope. So now you've got a rope here, and you show that to your allies, and
Come
you've
on
gotten yourself
across.
up here.
Yeah. And I will stay there and just get my wooden shield out and get my quarterstaff in hand, just ready to defend myself if need be.
All right. There is some more that you can see. Let me see about how far would you be seeing? 60
feet. Mm-hmm.
60 feet. Okay. I've got a pretty good notion then of what you might be seeing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A night is dark and full of dangers, Walykos.
I scream as a Gru just like drags me off into the night.
Walykos!
Hey, you had a torch, right?
I did not have a torch. Why would I have a torch? I have dark vision.
Yeah, it's dark vision.
Yeah.
Well, then you're likely to be eaten by a Gru.
Exactly.
So, you see with your dark vision some additional cave chambers, and this part over here,
Yes.
this looks to be another ledge, or even like a little natural jut out or stony bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some kind of movement over there.
Okay.
Again, it's dim, it's hard to see. Actually, if you want, give me a perception check with disadvantage. I think that's the way to go.
Absolutely. This is really hard for me to ask because hang on one second. Just making sure. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure favored enemy didn't apply to perception checks, because if they were a certain type of favored enemy, it would cancel out my disadvantage. You know what I mean? I don't want to meta that.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. A natural 20 on one of the dice, and the other is basically I get an unnatural 20 because I have a plus 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
You see in the dim movement, it's excuse me, it's slow movement, and it looks like a large snail.
Okay.
You see a snail creature,
is it
rooting about, gnawing about on whatever, something that's eating, and maybe it's like antennae, or kind of like going in your direction. Maybe it senses some movement.
What knowledge check would it be to identify the creature?
Nature check.
I will make a nature check then. 10.
10. You're not sure. It's
not even a name.
It's a big snail, right? It's like got it's like a pretty kind of like the larger end of small size, or the small end of medium size, around about that range. So it's definitely noteworthy in its size.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Are you trying to stay hidden from it?
Yes, I think that's wise. Until I knew more, I would be peeking around the rock.
All right,
probably from the left side.
Make a stealth check.
Certainly. I do this now. I don't want to use my inspiration yet. I only got a 9 total stealth.
All right, so it's clear to you that it has noticed you. It moves somewhat slowly, but it's not terribly slow. It's definitely slower than a person, but it's faster than just like a regular bug snail.
Yeah. Does it come towards me? Yeah.
It doesn't come in your direction, but it re-angles its position.
It's focused on me. Yeah.
Okay.
And
it actually, something's going to happen, but before something happens, I think you all were climbing down and back up this side. Is that right?
Yeah, no,
The rest of the party?
I definitely would have come down too.
Okay, so
yes,
we'll
we
say
were.
that the party is like like Aygir is like pulling himself up onto the ledge. Adriel's getting to the rope, and
I would
Vapor's
warn
waiting
them
for his
about the
turn.
snail thing. Yeah,
And you say like, there's whatever, something
there's a
here,
creature.
and
Yeah.
the thing that happens actually is that the snail talks. It has
Oh.
this, it's kind of like little strange mouth thing, slimy mouth, and it says, "Visitors? Why, I haven't had visitors in ages."
Holy crap! That's a talking snail.
This is a new one for me, Walykos.
What was that? What you called a talking snail?
Yes.
What?
Greetings, snail creature.
Are we breathing spores that I didn't know of?
No.
You guys
Careful.
are breathing.
Oh,
I've been
well,
holding my breath
greetings to you as
ever since
well.
I entered.
Most people don't find this cave all too inviting, but I think it's just right pleasant.
Do you live here?
I do. This is my home.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. Assuming you mean us no harm, we mean you no harm. And we certainly don't mean to intrude if you are...
What could a little opal snail like me do to the likes of strong warriors like yourselves?
Opal snail. I racked my brain for the name opal snail. Are they a sentient, like, race? Like, you think people would know, something about them if they lived in Barnacle?
You're not sure off the top of your head, but opal's a kind of gemstone.
Yeah.
Does the shell of the snail look opalescent?
Do you want to get Vapor's light onto it?
Yeah. Aygir will step closer, a little closer, and yeah.
Yeah, really, what we need is Vapor's light on it. With no light, you're just seeing a black and white, shadowy thing.
Toss the stone.
Vapor, we could go a little closer,
Or mage hand the
Am
stone.
I tossing the stone? Am I walking closer to this thing? What am I
Well,
doing? You guys
why
are
don't you
giving two different messages here.
Mage hand it. Just mage hand
Unfortunately,
it
I
out.
don't have mage hand.
What?
Give me the stone for a moment.
Hands the stone
All
over
right,
the
Aygir takes the stone?
Yep.
All right, Aygir, you take the stone and you step ahead a bit, and
Yeah, just about to there and no further.
as soon as light hits it, you can see. Oh, okay, yes, the shell indeed does have a magnificent, rainbow iridescent opal quality to it. It might actually be made of opal. It might grow opal as a shell. If that's the case, that is lots of opal.
Does Adriel also see like the opalescence?
Presumably.
Everyone can see it due to the light that Aygir is shining, and Aygir, there indeed is like a kind of natural rock bridge. That's the terrain that's ahead.
Mr. Snail, I don't know your name, but
Jickery.
Jickery. Oh, Jickery. We're here looking for a particular herb for our friend. If you live in these caves, perhaps you could help us.
Oh, there are many different things in these caves. All kinds of fungi and herbal growths. What is it exactly you're after?
They are frog's tridents.
Frog's tridents. It's one of my favorites. Delicious.
Yes, we heard that it's particularly useful in making one resistant to fire.
Well, I'm no magician, but it's one of my favorite things to eat. Yes, there's some growing here now. Not much of it, but there's a good clutch or two. Yes,
Is it
would
possible?
Would be.
Does Aygir
It
know
would be
anything
this
about
way. Though you might want to take heed. I don't think this bridge can support all of your weight at once. I wouldn't want it to collapse.
Is that the only way across the bridge to get there?
No, in fact, no, it's not. If you were so inclined, you could go down. He uses one of his antenna stalks and points like the direction, like behind Aygir.
Yeah.
You could get down there and loop around. Be careful though. There's puffballs that will release spores, and well, I don't think that your kind tolerates them very well.
No, we don't. But that might be best. If I'd hate to destroy the one bridge that you use to get back and forth in your home.
But will
he
the
did say
bridge?
it only take not all of our weight at once.
Yes, it should
If we
be.
just cross one or two at a time, it shouldn't break, right?
Yes, if Mr. Snail, is it all right if we cross one at a time? Would it hold each of our weights individually?
Yeah, one at a time. That should be fine. That should be fine. No problem. Aygir, you do notice that this this puffball here is a widow's goblin.
Okay. At least it's not a
which
blue
is somewhat
crown.
problematic. You don't see how you could get across it without getting within close enough to disturb its.
Right.
I was going to ask an insight check on it. I know it's kind of hard to, read a snail, but is he trying to kind of lure us? Like, it seems like he's being very helpful. Maybe there's some motive here that I might be able to get a glean of.
Is it also
sure.
possible that Aygir knows something about opal snails just from having talked long enough with Fearbolgs?
Okay, we'll do this one at a time. So we'll have Walykos do an insight.
My insight is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You do feel a little cautious. You're not quite sure you can trust the snail. Maybe it's just paranoia, or maybe there's something about it that could be undesirable.
It just
You're not
seems
quite
really
sure.
weird.
There's something a little funny about it.
Yeah.
Aygir, make a nature check.
All right, that's a 21.
Okay, so you have heard of some different snail creatures out there. You're not sure. You've never heard of an opal snail.
Okay, but
it might be an incredibly rare thing, or maybe it's a unique thing.
Interesting. So Fearbolg children don't sing songs of like, "Don't trust the opal snails, they
No.
only lie."
No. First, you've heard those words put together.
Okay.
Does Walykos mention that something feels off?
Well, I was going to wait till Esper was done, but yeah, I kind of whisper to my companions here. I'm like, I don't know about this guy. He lives here, but it seems really odd. Plus, Esper, do I know that that's Widow's Goblin on the bridge? Or I can't.
Yeah, you all are aware of that. Yeah.
When
Like, seems really weird that he wants us to go one at a time across the bridge, and that Widow's Goblin's going to hit us if we were.
Is the snail's back turned at the moment?
I mean,
he's looking
doesn't
at
have
you
a
all.
back.
Well, I mean, like, is he looking at us still?
Yeah.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He's looking at you.
All right, I was just checking. Adriel will kind of like swoop into Walykos and say, "Should we just attack it now? Deal with it?"
Well, it could be that it's not going to attack us unless we, like, I think it's more like it's trying to trick us, and maybe it'll either lead us to something else that'll kill us, and then maybe it gets, a symbiotic kind of like eats some of the leftovers. I think that it just seems too good to be true. Like, it knows that there's this plant, but
What's the problem? Are you worried about the mushrooms?
Yes, we were just discussing, actually. It looks like there's some mushrooms on that bridge there. Are they safe?
They're with
What, these here?
Yeah.
Yes.
They like to give a little confetti shower, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Is the
it's not good
confetti
for
shower?
our lungs.
Is the
It's
confetti
not good
shower
for
safe
us.
for us? Yeah.
Well, it's never bothered me.
Mm.
That language is the language of a liar.
Yeah. And I'll speak up and say, well, it may not bother you, but we are not slugs or snails, now are we?
I see. Well,
Could you deal with it for us?
I
Could
do
you-
know.
could
I
you take
do
it away?
know a song of mushrooms. I can sing
Song
to
of
them, and
mushrooms.
maybe it will calm it down, and it won't sneeze at you.
I'm gonna make another insight check.
Yeah,
on that.
I'm gonna make an insight check on this as well, actually.
How
I
far
feel like-
away is Vapor from that snail?
50 feet.
I got
maybe?
I got an 18 on my insight.
I also got an 18 on my insight.
Vapor's going to move
Okay.
20 feet forward.
All right, you're
and then
40,
cast
40
detect.
feet away from. You're 40 feet away from it.
All right, so
Vapor.
then he only needs to move 10 feet so you can cast Detect Magic.
All right. Hold on to detect magic because they rolled these deception.
Yeah.
Or what'd you roll?
Insight
Insight check.
Yeah.
What
insight.
do you
Yeah,
have?
we both got 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems that the snail has some ability that it can sing to the fungus and like calm it down or keep it from releasing the spore clouds.
So it is telemetry.
It seems like it's a good
Seems like-
option.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a good option for it to do that.
But it might
So-
not actually like do it correctly.
So,
well,
Um,
we'll see.
and then Vapor is starting to cast a detect magic, and then what is Aygir doing? You're on mute. You're still on mute.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's talking
I
about
I just accidentally minimized a bunch of tabs while trying to put out the mute thing. So yeah, those are Widow's goblins, clearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is actually.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
He
give me
is
a
getting-
quick thing because this is like
Okay.
everyone's
getting
doing
out-
something at the same time.
he's
I need to
getting
know
out-
what
getting
Aygir's
out
thing is.
First for himself, since it's quick, getting out a strip of cloth and taking a wine skin and saturating this cloth with wine to tie as a mask around his nose and mouth to try and combat any spores if he has to breathe them.
All right, so you are pulling out those effects and getting that face mask prepared. Vapor is doing a detect magic, and it is actually doing its little song. So, Vapor, this is interesting that you've done detect magic. I would like you. Are you spending an action, or are you wanting to do like a ritual to cast it? Where it takes
I can't do a ritual,
time?
so I have to spend an action.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're not a ritual
sorcerers
caster.
can't
That's
do it.
nice. Okay.
Arcana.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Arcana.
It's kind of like the spellcraft go-to.
Yeah, it's the general spellcraft type skill. Let's do this because there's a reason for this. Give me an
Am
Arcana
I
check.
able to add my charisma because I'm using?
Just a regular Arcana check with intelligence.
Okay, damn. Well, that's not going to do me squat because that's a 2.
All right.
Oh, no, wait, that's
So-
a 5. I forgot I had.
That's 5. Okay. So the reason I had you roll that is because you might have been able to detect what the snail was doing before the effect happens and like warn your allies.
Yeah.
Alas, that did not happen.
I
So
figured.
we're going to treat this kind of like a surprise round because the snail's kind of done a thing.
He's
So
doing
the
a
snail's
thing.
going to do,
Yeah.
the snail's going to do its thing, and then we're going to roll for initiative.
Oh
So
boy.
the
Let's get some
snail
combat.
sings this little song, and this strange little song seems to kind of like,
Sleep.
worm your way. It like flutters in your eardrums and in your mind. The two who are in front, which are Aygir and Vapor.
The Adriel
Aygir and
is like,
Vapor
no,
make oh my gosh, it's wisdom saving throws.
And is it against being charmed? Anything like that they might need to know?
a good question,
Kind
yeah.
of, yeah. It's kind of like that enchantment effect.
Well, I mean, there are people that get advantage against being charmed, like myself.
If you have something that says enchantment or magic, yes. Charm, no.
Okay, got it.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to pass with a flat 10.
Nah. Aygir?
Do Adriel and Walykos need to make this check, or are we?
No, he
Nope.
specifically said the front two.
Oh, you're just making sure.
I did a little better. I have a 14.
All right, so both Aygir and Vapor
Shit.
are like mentally charmed. Not charmed. You put that word in my mind.
Compelled,
It's an
yeah.
enchantment effect. You are paralyzed. You are held in the strange sway of this thrumming song of the snail. Now, everybody roll for initiative.
With any effect to that based on the spore condition?
I got a 17. Actually, I'll just put it in the chat so it's easier.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just me. I moved my mic up because it was like.
Aygir is going last. He got a 6.
Yeah, I also
right.
got a 6, but I'm better than you at.
All right,
Your
Adriel
dexterity
17.
score is higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine like since I got like so much higher than everyone, like he starts casting the spell and Adriel just like immediately sees the effect on Aygir and Vapor and it's just like getting like ready to go.
Fucking knew it.
All right, so Adriel got a 17. Who's after that?
Vapor is with a 13.
Okay.
And I
And
believe
then?
it's Walykos, then Aygir.
Yep.
What do you got?
6 with higher dex and 6 with lower dex. At least I'm assuming yours is higher than a 14.
All right, let's assume that. Adriel, you can act here. So the snail's strange song seemed to have some kind of magic in it that has paralyzed Vapor and Aygir.
How far away is it from me?
It is maybe 40 feet away from you. Yeah, 40.
Damn. That's 5 feet further than my movement speed. Let me think here. Yeah, I'll just those spores, we were told that it's 5 feet, right? They spray out
for
at 5
the
feet.
goblin.
All right,
Mhm.
oh man, I'm trying to think because like obviously like we need to do something, but it's also might. Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to it. Yeah, I'll use a bonus action dash to give me my 70 feet of movement. I'll run up to it, and then I'll attack it with my my +1 short sword, and I'll get let me see I don't think fancy footwork gives me advantage, but it does give me sneak attack. So
Yeah.
or not fancy footwork, but
Your swashbuckler thing.
yeah, rakish audacity, I think it's called. Yeah. So yeah, I will attack and go for that. See what happens. Get my sword. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had to look at my attacks.
You're all right, man.
All right. That is Oh, okay. So I thought I rolled where that's a 28 to hit.
All right. So you run up here to sort of the base of this rock bridge. You attack with your blade. You strike the snail.
And that's going to be 7 damage for my short sword, and then that's going to be another 6 damage, so 13 damage altogether. So yeah, I imagine like as he starts casting the spell, Adriel just like immediately like runs up to it and just like kind of like stabs into like a fleshy part of its body.
The stab occurs. The thing definitely flinches in pain. And now that you're real up close to it and actually stabbing it, it has sort of a weird smell. I mean, most monsters have weird smells, so I guess that's not anything too crazy. But there's a distinct kind of odor that it's giving off. Almost kind of a burning odor smell.
Sick.
Okay. So it winces quite a bit, but let me tell you, that paralysis keeps on.
Yeah, and as I stab it, I'm gonna say you should have just talked to us instead of fighting. It's going to be a doom. And then I'm gonna run back. So
run back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get away from it now. Yeah.
You're gonna provoke an attack of opportunity.
Nope. I have a swashbuckler. If I attack something, it doesn't get a reaction on me. Yeah, for opportunity. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back. Yeah. Because
Well, you have a cunning action if you didn't have that, right?
He did.
Used it before, to
Yeah.
get up.
I
Oh,
used
okay.
my cunning action to get up there with a dash. Gave me 70 feet, so that was 40 movement. So I should still have 30 left. Then
And are you just want to go back in the same direction exactly?
Yep. I'm gonna get around
Like,
the corner.
like,
Yep, exactly.
like that? Okay.
Yeah. So I imagine like I run up,
Okay.
stab it, and then just like maneuver my way back to my little perch there.
All right. Vapor, you are paralyzed. You are held in the strange warbling song of the snail. Make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn to try to break free.
So, the paralyzed, could I cast it as spell magic to cancel whatever effect?
You cannot. You can't act. You can't move.
Okay,
You're just
so then I'm just
You're a
rolling
whole
a
person.
frozen out. Yeah, just locked up.
13. So nope.
Keep trying. You'll get a new
Alas.
save every turn.
Yeah.
Or we could
All right.
possibly make him lose his concentration.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. When I attacked him, did he have to? Like...
He did. He rolled it.
Oh, you did.
Esper,
Okay.
Esper rolled it. That's what I was talking about.
Gotcha.
All right. The creature slides up here to
Ooh.
Aygir.
He's fighting us. He's not afraid.
Faster than what a snail normally can do,
Shouldn't,
but
yeah.
slower than a human. But it is uncannily fast for a snail.
Okay, that
And
changes some stuff.
This is why I ran back to my hiding spot after I attacked it. Like I was like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try something.
Its eyes have this like weird fluttering effect,
Yeah.
almost like this strange hypnotizing flashes of different colorations. Aygir, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, glory to the hypno snail. That is actually pretty good. That's a 19.
You fail.
Okay.
I better not.
It's like a CR10, creature.
You have succeeded. There's a strange sensation like in your mind, unpleasant actually. It almost starts to hurt, but you're through willpower, you defend yourself mentally. The creature then lashes at you. It's kind of weird. One of its antennae just like whips like a flail almost. It has advantage, and if it hits, it is an automatic critical hit.
Oh god.
Because I'm paralyzed, yeah.
Because you're paralyzed.
Sir
15
Magus.
to hit.
Nope.
Yeah, it didn't roll very well. Okay. Walykos, it is your turn.
All right.
I'm still paralyzed, or no?
I think. Wait, was that a yes, Esper?
Still paralyzed. Walykos, your turn.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide how to do this. Like, the spell might be really good, but then I won't get my attacks. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just go for damage and hope that we can knock it out quicker. Bonus action to put a hunter's mark on it.
Very well. You focus onto the strange snail creature.
Yep.
Does that give us all advantage or just you?
No. That's not the fairy fire thing. No, that's hunter's mark is the equivalent of hex. Basically, I get an extra d6 damage, and I also get advantage on perception and survival checks.
And that's only for you, right? Not for all of us.
Correct. It's personal. Yeah. Then I will move to it and slam it with my quarterstaff. Using the good old spell.
Bonking it on the head.
Shillelagh. So, does a 19 hit?
Oh my goodness! Sorry, I forgot to move you in here. All right, there you go.
That for my turn, so I can get.
You swing your staff and you strike the creature.
All right, so 19 does hit, and then I will.
Yep.
I have 2 attacks. Let me just roll them both to get them out of the way. That one's gonna. Let me use my advantage on that roll. I just want to land some hits on it. 21 will hit. Cool. All right. So I need to get all my dice because as I hit it, not only does the hunter's mark. Is there any reason I should split the damage up, Esper?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna put it
Well,
all
no,
together.
there's 2 attacks, so there's 2 different
I know.
chances.
I'm putting all the dice together in my hand to put it all, in one roll. As I slam the quarterstaff on it, my cloak billows out and feathers shoot out and just pierce into it from all sides, doing an extra d6 of piercing damage. All right, that was pretty shit-tastic rolling on my part.
That's how I felt with my sneak attack. 3d6 got me a 6 damage. I was just like,
Yeah.
These are complaints that are easy to make when you're not paralyzed.
Yeah, I hear them here like, I can't even attack it.
You guys are getting to attack?
23 damage from the 2 attacks total.
That's good, though.
It was 2 attacks, though. That was shit.
23. All right, you strike the creature, and it needs to make 2 DC 10 Constitution saving throws.
Yep.
Wait, isn't it? Wait, doesn't it have to? Wait, I think the concentration.
First
is...
one is a 9. So close, yet so far away. And it loses its concentration. The paralysis releases on Aygir and Vapor. And you batter the snail creature, and it kind of squeals a little bit. And for a moment, the voice kind of like cracks, and it makes this other sound, and it goes back to the snail voice.
Yeah, it's a fake. It's a mimic.
Aygir,
if I may,
you have regained your control over yourself. What do you do?
Yeah, that was the right.
You're muted.
You're muted.
God damn it. Gods of MIRRORMOURN, damn it. With his thunder weapons in hand, his cavalry saber and spiked shield, he just straight up goes to town on hitting this thing as hard as he can repeatedly. Rolling all the attacks. Ooh. The dice alone are a crit, an 18, and a 15, which becomes a 22. So it's
pretty good.
The lowest roll is a 22.
Nice.
And one of them's a crit.
Oh, yeah. Well, that works.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll a little bit of damage here. Okay, oh wow, that's not good. The non-crits together amount to 12, and then the crit adds another 14, so a total of
26.
26. All right. The thing is being assaulted, definitely more than what it bargained for, and it has lost its paralyzing influence over your minds.
Nice.
You should have helped us instead of
You done fucked up, Snail.
It also now, until the start of my next turn, has disadvantage on attack rolls against anything that's not me.
It's pretty good.
It is distracted by a thunderous pulse of the force of the blows I just struck it.
It's one of my favorite abilities from that archetype.
It is nice.
We're back to Adriel.
Yep.
All right. I would like to first attempt to hide from it so I can try and get advantage on my attack with my bonus action. If that's possible. I don't know if
use
it's
this rock here. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And go ahead.
Stealth. Wow. I never roll good on stealth. I have like a plus 11 and I never roll well. I got a 12. Rolled a nat 1. I got a 12.
Probably
all right,
not.
you pop out. What are you doing? You're like shooting.
Oh, I was just gonna run up to it with my blade again.
Surprise.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if if that's not possible,
in this case, it wouldn't have been surprised anyway.
Okay, yeah.
There are some situations where I think that would work, but
okay. I'll still flank it.
Not in this one.
Do I have the movement?
But you run up there, right?
Yeah, easy.
Do I have the movement to flank it, or
Oh, probably if you want to do your. Wait,
Yeah.
you already. Oh, hold on.
You already
You did 5
bonus
feet of movement to get
action
to
this.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, use bonus action to hide. Okay, so you've got 30 feet left. Yeet. All right, close but not quite.
Okay, I'll just attack it.
Yep.
Smash it. So there it is. 26 to hit.
26 is definitely a hit.
All right, this one I got a lot better damage. I got 11 damage on the short sword.
Oof.
And then for
Oof.
the sneak attack, I got 14, so 25 damage altogether.
All right.
Yeah, much better.
Something bizarre happens this time. You drive your blade into the snail. It goes through the shell,
Oh.
but instead of a cracking effect, it actually spatters, and your blade punctures through, and the whole snail just like discorporates to goo, and you see the snail trail that it has left all along actually slithers back, and you hear voices not far off at all, voices like from below the rock bridge, a variety of voices like squealing and agonizing.
It looks like this was being controlled by something else. And as I
Can I take an
like-
attack of opportunity at the ooze as it retreats, like just to hit it for more damage, or is that not allowed?
So you can do that, right? Just for narrative effect, and your blade just kind of like scrapes through a little bit of slime, so it doesn't really have
dead.
much.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also gonna like kind of like slosh my short sword down with the goo and say that was quite disgusting, and
We're not
wipe
done
it off
yet.
on the side. Wipe it off on the side of the cave.
Question: my hunter's mark, does it still detect like the creature? Like the creature might have reformed or whatever, or is it dead? Does the hunter's mark no longer have a target? Because the hunter's mark
no longer has a target.
Okay, just making sure, because I can still track it basically in theory. Right. I'm gonna move. Well, are we still in initiative? Is my first question.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna move to the edge of the bridge.
I mean, you all like stay there at the reading, and then nothing's happening.
I want to look down the side of the thing to see if I can see what's down there from just the edge where the snail was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to the edge and you look down into this lower area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna reveal some.
Get some alchemist fire ready to drop down there.
Whoops. Okay.
I do have a scroll fireball.
I mean, we do have fireball.
You see down there, Walykos, a dying slime creature, just kind of coming apart, and as it is dying, it's making all of these wailing noises, as though a whole group of people, and even in the slime jelly surface, you even see like faces of agonizing people, and even beasts and creatures, and they all just kind of like, and they bubble and gloop and melt.
I think I know what this is, only because I read either it was in a newsletter or a book, maybe some esoteric book.
I don't know that it's actually one of
this was not
those.
in my book.
It wasn't?
This is from
remember-
Volo's Guide, right?
Okay.
Mordenkainen's tome.
It's the other one. Okay, sorry. I knew it was one of the it is one of the best monsters in 5th edition design wise. It's
maybe
great.
I just remember from
pretty
there
damn
and I was
cool.
crediting it. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Hey, I think it's dead, guys. It's down there dying horribly. So whatever it was.
Well, as long as it's dead and we don't have to deal with it anymore, and I'm gonna like resheath my blades.
Hey, Walykos, what is the other thing on that bridge beyond the Widow's Goblin?
Bring your light closer and I'll tell you.
He does very cautiously.
Esper, do I need to make a roll?
No need to make a roll. You don't think there's any danger to this.
Yeah.
Your party has identified Widow's Goblin and Blue Crown. If you come across more of those, I'll point them out to you. If there's something new or different, then you can make a new check.
Yeah, I guess this creature probably kept other predators out of its area, I would assume. So this is probably the safest at the moment path. Can we... There's no way to really avoid that. Can Mage Hand get rid of the...
Do we have a Mage Hand?
Yeah, I have Mage Hand.
Oh, you have Mage Hand. Oh, I see. I didn't know that you had Mage Hand.
Yeah.
This might be really stupid, but I think Aygir might actually try just putting on the wine-soaked scarf and just walking past it.
It's dumb, Aygir. Gonna regret it.
No. When Walykos says that, I'm actually just gonna like put a hand on Walykos and be like, let him.
He's getting in one of his.
Adriel's just thinking like, yeah, let him deal with the first boss, and we'll see if it works. Like, if he wants to do it, let him do it.
He's feeling tookish. He's feeling very. Tookish.
I thought you were gonna say that you were gonna bull rush it.
Oh hell
yeah,
no!
I'm gonna
he's not an idiot. He's just throwing a caution a little ways into the wind.
I'll look to Aygir and say, Aygir, I think that if this is something you want to do, go for it.
I mean, I could just use magic to try and remove it.
No, Walykos, let him try.
Look, I think this is going to work, and there's only one way to find out, and I'm going to find out. If it doesn't work, I'll cough and sneeze a bit, and it'll be fine.
That shit's gonna get in your armor. You're gonna be in agony. Like, it's gonna suck. You do you. Live your life to the fullest.
Aygir, if you want to take this one for the vanguard,
he's already doing it.
Yeah, make your decision because the hour.
Walykos is like, you shouldn't do this. Adriel's just like, no, do it, go.
All right, Aygir, you wrap your nose and mouth in your
closes his
your improvised face mask of cloth soaked in wine.
By the way, as Aygir is doing this, Adriel will be walking back a bit. He wants to make sure he is out.
Yeah, I will also back.
He's like gonna back up pretty far just in case.
Just in case it's like
before Vapor backs up, he places a hand on Aygir and goes, "Good luck," and then casts Levitate Person, preventing him from moving.
You're levitating Aygir?
Yep.
Aygir, do you accept the levitation or do you want to try to resist it?
Because you can cast on hostile creatures, but they get a save if they want.
I mean, what's the better idea if we...
Well, he's doing it so that you can't move.
It's the better idea is let me get rid of it.
With what?
With magic. Mage Hand.
You think you can use Mage Hand to get all the spore? Oh, you're going to try and knock the mushroom itself off. Okay, I thought you were going to try and somehow Mage Hand all the spores away.
No.
This is weird.
The hand is
trying to push it off of the bridge.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't understand that the first time around.
But the question though is, are you accepting the levitation or not?
Well, that's the real question.
No, he's not. But he will stop himself because he in character will probably realize what I out of character just did. Assuming he succeeds in stopping the levitation, he'll take a step forward and then say,
I told you I have magic to
You're
deal
going to
with
knock
it.
it off the bridge? Oh.
Yeah, I have magic.
Well, go ahead and do that then. What are you waiting for?
All right.
We're waiting for you, Aygir.
Okay, so Aygir's levitating. Do I have that right?
I believe not.
Well, then you need to roll a resist.
If you want to try to resist it, you make a
what kind of save?
I'm looking it up.
Vapor's blowing his spell of it.
Yeah, I believe it's a wisdom.
Is it wisdom?
That's so weird. Are you sure? It's
Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Con makes more sense. Yeah.
All right. That is 16 plus 5, 21.
Yeah, you passed it.
Yeah.
All right, so the winds of vapor whip all around you, but they do not lift you up into the air, and you overpower that. Meanwhile, Walykos scoffs at you two, comes over here, and what do you do, Walykos?
I produce from like I reach into the cloak and I actually pull out a white raven. Like, where did it come from? It's a magic trick. Who knows? And this raven kind of like flutters, and it, for intents and purposes, is the magic manifestation of the mage hand. It can do everything that mage hand can. And it goes over and it starts pushing. You know, maybe it grows in size, and like maybe its talons move in ways that birds don't normally move. But it, you know,
Now you do have to be
does
within. You do have to be within 10 feet of it, right?
no, mage hand is 30-foot range.
Oh,
30,
is it
I
30
thought.
feet? Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I thought it was 10 feet. Sorry.
10 feet would be terrible. No one would ever use the spell.
Mage hand
Still-
is 30 feet.
30
Yeah,
feet. Okay.
10 pounds is probably what you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
10 pounds. Okay, so let's see.
I assume I can do it in increments if it's heavier than 10
I wonder.
pounds.
I wonder if
Okay,
like
10
I wonder if,
pounds.
like two.
So,
pages-
yeah, you know what? I have not actually statted how tough these things are, so I'm just going to give it a roll here. In my
Okay,
mind, they seem like they could be somewhat sturdy, but maybe not. Okay, yeah, fine enough. I think that's a good application of Mage Hand. I perceive it. I imagine it like this. Instead of it like a hand, the typical way where it'd be like pulling off chunks at a time, it's a spirit raven that's like pecking out chunks at a time.
Yeah, I probably like cuts it apart. It might spore a little bit, but no one's near it.
I imagine when it like pulls out a chunk or slices off a chunk, it
Yeah.
like that triggers a spore release, but no one's quite within the area.
So it just
And
spews its
you
spores.
if you have the time, you just kind of work at it and you chunk it and chip it away until you get rid of the hazard. So I think that sounds fine.
And on that note, it is
very good, clever
It is,
solution.
yeah, it is getting late. We might want to.
on the end
Pause.
though. On the end though.
This is a
Adriel-
good place to pause, I think.
Okay, I do one thing before the end. Adriel will, after Walykos finishes doing this work thing, he's gonna walk up, put a hand on his shoulder, and be like, you know, although this was more effective, I was kind of looking forward to seeing what would happen to Aygir. No offense.
Just Adriel, just push him in the one near the exit on the way out. I don't know. Do you...
I'll keep that in mind.
I was kind of hoping to see Aygir's experiment too.
I mean, he'll do it at some point. He's still got that urge somewhere. He just didn't realize that Walykos's plan wasn't actually something as weird as trying to swat away a whole
You
cloud
thought
of
I was just
birds.
gonna like this bird's flapping its wings
Yeah,
to like.
I think Walykos had a good plan. I just rolled like, how tough is this? You know,
Well,
is
yeah,
this
no,
puffball
you,
here?
you
And-
kind of
but,
gave me
like-
the idea with how to harvest it.
In character and out of character, Adriel, like I was just like this is a great plan, and Aygir was just like, no, I would have run over to it, and Adriel was just like, okay, by all means.
It's like I can't control your actions. I can tell you that they're not the smart action, but I can't control.
You all have accrued a half milestone by this point. We'll pause things here. This is a
You
good, I think, a
bastard.
good natural pausing point.
Yeah, I think
Half
And-
milestone from level.
Well, there's the rest of the fungus cave to go.
Exactly.
worry,
I
don't
will
worry.
say we're gonna level up by the time we leave this
But
place.
yeah, I'm
Exactly.
2.5 away.
Well, then me and Walykos Vapor and Walykos will most likely then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I haven't fallen behind absolutely everybody then.
No.
But
Yeah, I think you're pretty. You're
I need to
further
go
along.
out and get myself in some trouble.
I mean, you're a new
This group
Magus.
is
Yeah.
pretty close together in terms of experience points or
Yeah,
a
right.
milestone.
Right.
That's pretty darn close. Most groups I have, there's always that one person that's like almost a whole level ahead of everyone else. Anyhow, that's its own topic. Thank you guys. Another great session. This one just
Esper.
blew right
It
by.
did.
Oh my
It really
gosh.
did.
It
Yeah,
flew.
we spent an hour and a half on just the first half, and then like the cave was super fun.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, there's more to come. We'll see what
Can't wait.
other fungal adventures you get into next time. Hopefully, you don't leave this place with too many growths on your persons.
And
I was-
hopefully the council's okay with a 2-week delay. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, you show up 2 weeks later with like fungus growing off of you. We're here for the council meeting. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for watching, everyone who
Yeah.
spectated, and I'll see you next time.
Yep.
See you next time. Bye, guys.